do this and then post it everywhere that Tommy wants it posted. All right, I believe we're live. Welcome.
You can everywhere Tommy wants to post it.
Indeed. All right, we are live. Hello, YouTube. This is the Red Zone edition of VCheese, round two. I think we're all round two tonight. I think these are all round two games. But we have 3 games starting up here in 10 minutes. Another game in an hour, and then another game in an hour and a half after that. So depending on how long these games go, we'll probably have somewhere around 4 games going at once in the middle of the stream. And yeah, we shall see. I got Mike, formerly Oyeo, with me here on stream. Hopefully y'all can hear him fine with the way I've got this set up.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be quite wild. The first adventure is finding all the games.
I have them all pulled up. So for the stream at least, I'm attempting to show them all on stream at once. We'll see how that goes. They're kind of small on my screen. I'm curious if anyone in the comments can tell me whether they can actually see stuff or not. If it's too small, I'll have to just tab back and forth between them. But I'm hoping to try to keep at least the first 3 up together, if possible.
Okay, so the first 3, which ones are those?
Right, so we have MTSP versus Bean, Loki versus SRD, which I think is going to be starting a tad late. Loki messaged that I think he was running late, coming back from work or something. And then Drumtooth versus OG Blaha, which apparently I mistyped as Go Blaha now that I'm re-looking at my image. So apologies to OG, that was not intentional, I promise. And what's up on screen is an image that I can't edit now easily. So yeah, whoops. You're Go Blaha for tonight.
Well, you really need to apologize to Drumtooth. You're basically cheering on OG Blaha there, right? You're telling, you're rooting for him by saying go.
Implicitly I am. So alrighty. I have those.
So for matchups, right? So the first one, well, I guess let's save Loki for last then, if that one's going to be running a little late.
Yep. Yeah, so we can start off with MTSP versus Bean.
Yeah.
So MTSP has Quahan with Raylan, of course, and then the max spiders builds. We've got 6 squads of spiders and then nothing else. And then Bean has the micros with Laglor and Raylan. So 4 micros.
4 micros, Laglor, Raylan versus spiders. I mean, my initial thought is I would rather have the micros here, but at least with 7 squads of spiders, you should be able to flood pretty well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that, like, for me, micros are the one range squad I'm most afraid of if I'm playing Quahan Spiders, just because it's so hard to tie down the 8 range things preemptively. Like, Spiders can engage 4th mass on that front line pretty quickly with 7 move and block the best shots, but, like, 8 range is just painful to run into.
I feel like I'd rather have the spider version into specifically the troopers, though, than, like, the 3 green scale version, right?
Yes, I would agree with that. Although I'd rather have the Krav version over any of those if I was picking a dragon build to go with here.
Would that be with only 2 squads of scales?
The one I was looking at for this event was three spiders with Krav. It's a little light on spiders.
That's you have big issues into melee.
Correct. Yeah, you really have to pick and choose which build you want to be better off into there.
For sure.
Okay. Let me see if I can try to make you louder. Any chance you can increase your volume? I'm trying to max it with coming through my phone here. Oh.
Yeah, I can increase my input volume.
Okay. Let's give that a shot, because Adam's saying you're a little quieter than I am with the way I have it set up.
All right, is that better? I can increase it more.
Okay, let's see. It sounds like Adam's paying attention, so if you can give us some feedback?
Yeah, I just bumped it up like 20%, so hopefully that's good.
All right, we'll try and get that sorted out here. If you're listening, bear with us. These games aren't started yet, so perhaps the 10-minute early start was good. Okay, I got Nathan and Adam both saying better, so sweet. Thank you all. Yeah, appreciate the feedback. Glad we got that fixed earlier.
Yeah, thanks.
Alrighty, I will leave everything where it's at then. Yeah, I mean, I think
that's the way it goes with VCheese, right? Is when you're filling out, like, you have your cores, and then you have to kind of pick what you're going to like give up equity into in order to make some other matchups better.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I think that one thing I will say for the Quaihan army in this setup though is that Dagmar is a really great glyph for Quaihan to have access to in that particular matchup because it should be much easier for spiders to control that than micros who really don't want to be leaving those auras.
Right. Agreed, absolutely. And then obviously the spiders are often going to be at 4 to 5 defense on this map. Like if it's played well, like so that what that means is it's actually kind of tough for the troopers to really like kill a lot of them quickly if it's played properly from the spider side. So you're gonna be able to mass up, and then you're gonna be able to just strike in with 7 move. It'll be interesting to see whether is it Bean? Is which one? Who has the spiders?
The spiders
It's
is
Bean.
yeah,
Okay.
Macklar. Macklar has the spiders.
Sure. So it'll be interesting to see if he prioritizes getting the move +1 glyph. My inclination here is that it's not worth it. That spider on Lorja, right? Isn't it Lorja Valda?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like spider is almost certainly not going to have Raylan. I don't see a good Raylan spot that isn't extremely vulnerable to troopers, unless you're like on the shadow, like next to the bush or something, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And that like that it's just going to be really hard to not have the spider there get killed every turn by these 8 range dudes. So you're just going to have to be replacing it every single turn to try to contest it. Like
Yeah.
I'd much rather just plop one on Dagmar on the exact turn when I want it, and then otherwise try to keep them on height in the middle in Raylan's aura as they develop.
Great. That would be my play here too. But it'll be interesting. I that's one thing I see a lot of in a lot of games is like people going for glyphs when I don't necessarily agree with it, and so I think that's something to keep an eye on in this game. Where like you're I think you're unless the opponent just lets you do it, like you're kind of just giving up activations at that point, and the only +1 move isn't relevant enough.
Yeah, yeah, I would concur. I'm curious where you'd put Raylan exactly here. I mean, I think you have to make a pretty aggressive Raylan placement here. I don't want to spend 2 order markers on her if I can avoid it.
Right. I don't think I'm moving her in the first round, to be honest. I'm
Fair.
just moving 9
Spiders.
spiders up. I'm not probably. I might not even move Quaihan in the first round. Or if I'm moving her, she's not going far because I don't want her to just start eating 4 attacks a turn, right?
Yeah. Well, I think one thing you can do is move her slightly aggressively, and then like once one turn move forward on order marker 1 while still being in Raylan, and then if the micros are just content to chill in their start zone, then you can just completely slow roll your spiders. Like if they're not going to push up out of that, if you stay outside, like whatever Laglor's aura is, if you can stay outside of that with Quaihan while you develop spiders, you can just spend a round or two just bringing up all of your spiders halfway. On the flip side, if they do get pretty aggressively and start coming out of that aura, then you can start killing them. I mean, if you've got enough spiders developed, every time one of them comes forward, you can ship a spider forward to tie that one down. And now you're like spider attacks on them. If they're outside of Raylan's aura, the 2v2s are just going to go through a lot.
Right. I mean, the thing is though, like I feel like the first squad of troopers probably should get aggressive. I mean, obviously contextual on what the spider player does, right? Like if the spider player tries to play aggressively, the troopers are just going to sit there. They're not going to be played aggressively, or they shouldn't be played aggressively. But like you can't just let all the spiders mass up for free, and then you have to try to use terrain, elevation differences, etc., to try to deny too many spider attacks on that first squad of micros. But I do think you need to start getting shots at some point. And,
Yeah.
and Laglor can be like towards the front of the start zone to where like your Laglor aura can cover a lot. And the thing is, I like him at the front. On like I think the Raylan placement is really interesting. We should talk about that in a second. But like Laglor, I don't care if he ends up just getting random attacks throughout the game because he's like end of the day. By the time he dies, like he's just not gonna die quickly, right? Like if he's in Raylan's aura, he just takes so long that you don't care if he ends up taking some random attacks throughout the game. Whereas like Raylan is the opposite. You do care if she takes random attacks. So it's you can put him in a place where your micros can move up even up to like 4 spaces, and they'll be out of Raylan's aura, but they'll still have 8 range. So 8 range plus any terrain elevation difference means that the spider can't even get back at it, right?
I'm thinking about Raylan in the start zone spot next to the jungle, and then Laglor one space below that.
One space directly below, as in also in the front line.
Right, yeah, also the front line. Because I'm more concerned about Raylan having the jungle than Laglor having it. And also that lets Laglor give you 8 range from the 1/3 hex, 3 height grass spot as well, which is the as well as the 3 height shadow spot. Dungeon spot, yeah. Which is the best. And then yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then Raylan covers one of them. I mean, Raylan not covering the other one's a little bit unfortunate, but you're still taking 8 range attacks of 3 from height with whatever you're pinging down at from those spots, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and the other, I was actually looking at exactly that Laglor spot, and another thing I like about it is it also like means that any micros on either side of the start zone of either side of the split are also going to just automatically have 8 range, which means that they're covering the glyphs. So you can really make sure, like as much as I'm saying Lord Javalda probably isn't really going to be that good here, or really that worth it. If your opponent just disrespects it and lets you have it for free, you'll take it all day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. I mean, they should have the ability to counter it the moment you take it. But if they let you have it, I mean, sure. Free things are nice. Take free stuff. Let's try to get to that second matchup real quick before they get started. I think we've got a few minutes while people still get signed in and whatnot. But so for the other matchup we have OG Blaha, who did in fact correct me that it is not Go Blaha. My apologies for rooting for you. And OG Blaha has a very interesting build that I don't entirely understand. Do you want to try and tackle that Rygarn monstrosity?
Yeah, let me pull it up again real quick. Okay, so Betacron, Brute Gruts, 2 Great Bows, Marku, Mar Warriors, Raylan, Rygarn. So I kind of see the vision, kind of. Betacron Brutes gives you some play in the melee, right? You're hoping to bring your opponent in towards your start zone with the Great Bows, and Maros are just good, and that's kind of how I see it. Now, the interesting thing is you're going 2x Great Bows and Marku over Q9, and that's the number one thing I don't understand here. Theoretically, you can try to set something up where, they have to move within exactly 7 spaces away from your second set of Great Bows to get towards your first set. That to me seems way too easy to play around with only 4 of them. I think you could try to set that type of stuff up with more of them. I don't think it's worth it. I think you should just be taking your good early shots, etc. with them, and the 6x Great Bows, and just try to 5D chess your opponent, where now you get hit by 2 attacks of 5. It's the juice really isn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah, most massed armies are just fine taking those 2 shots while they slow roll into you, and then they get to you and you're toast.
Right. So to me, it's kind of this the second squad in this army plus Betacron is kind of this range control isn't the right word, but it's what it's going to do to the opponent is make them double think all of their placements, right? They're going to be concerned about am I moving into Betacron's range with only 1 unit this turn? If so, you're giving Betacron max value, right? Am I moving exactly 7 spaces away from any one of the Great Bows? Because at any time with Rygarn, that's a 5-die attack coming from that Great Bow. So I think that's one interesting part that you can exploit with Rygarn that you otherwise couldn't with the Great Bows, is that it's this always active threat.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, you can also just attack 3 times with 3 dice in a turn with Q9.
That is historically known to be good, as it happens.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. It definitely feels hipster.
Hipster is a good word for that army. I would concur. In terms of the opposing army, so we have Drumtooth here with basically knights, but then 1x Great Bow as a sort of techie piece It's kind of a cool concept. I mean, presumably the idea is to mostly take order markers on knights and then dispatch great bows two at a time until you get them where you want to, and then maybe take some order markers on them.
Right. It's sort of like the old school Knight's Fourth, but the nice thing about only doing it with two great bows is you're still kind of maxing out on the knights, which is really the bulk of your army and your main game plan. And you can just kind of it's a similar thing where you're just kind of setting up this passive value with the great bows. I actually played against uh, Trivia Night back in EscapeCon East in like a General Wars where he did a similar thing with one squad of Omnicron snipers, and I thought it was pretty clever. Like that one squad of Omnicron snipers getting dispatched in places where he doesn't necessarily need the extra knight dispatch, just like creates this sort of pressure and threat that you wouldn't otherwise have as the knights player. So I think there's a lot of merit to it actually.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's an interesting alternative to the Savaris version of the knights build that Cleon's running in this event too. Definitely some different spots where they are, but I think that Dagmar is especially going to be cool for that build here because if the knights lose initiative, they can basically have a knight take Dagmar and then dispatch the great bows to be 7 range away from whatever they want to hit, and then have that order marker 1 on them and just obliterate that thing from height.
Yeah, there are definitely some cool plays there. Eldgrim also facilitates a Dagmar play at some point,
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
it's not awful. Like it seems bad to spend 40 like to spend 120 points on two great bows, Eldgrim and Isamu. But I think if you really analyze like what those are providing to the knights, I think there's merit there.
Yep. No, I agree. I'm I'm quite curious to see how that plays out. As also like what they go for because they could try to take out Raylan in one turn. They're not going to be favored to do so, but if they did get her, that'd be pretty sweet. I'm probably more tempted to try to take out two brutes. Yeah, brutes are going to be the best piece OG has into knights by far. Like that's brutes. Brute might be the single scariest piece knights can face in all of VCheese.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, brutes would 100% be what I'm looking to leverage. Like, if I feel like if I can trade the two great bows for even two brutes, I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like it's a playable game for me. And I feel like if I'm going in against four brutes backed by Raylan, I probably just lose unless I get really lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I would concur with that. Brute cards, they're just so scary. Like that they can just I mean, theoretically they can kill 8 knights in one turn. That's just absurd.
And then kind of the interesting question then would be, would you rather have something like, you start getting really low on knights, but like three squad, like I almost think I'd rather have one less squad of knights and drop a Samu and have Raylan here. As crazy as that sounds, like
Mm.
you're getting really low on knights, right? So I don't love it, but like Raylan Mara Warriors doesn't fit. So this would kind of be like a different variation on Raylan Maros.
Yeah, that's true. You can do Raylan Krav, I think, with 3 knights at this point total with Gilbert.
Yeah, if you get rid of Elgrim, yeah.
Yeah, if you drop Eldgrim, which is also a different version. I mean, that doesn't have any Gilbert, you know, quite cool, quite interesting Gilbert plays quite as much, but gonna be solid, more solid into a different army. Again, you gotta pick which and choose you want to match up into. Like, are you worried about troopers? If so, you probably really want Krav. If you're worried about other stuff, then you
You
gotta worry
might
about
still
them
want
instead.
Crab.
Well, you might still want Krav. You might still want Krav. If you think there's gonna be a lot of Q9s though, then like this iteration into Q9 is just so much better. Like if you get that initiative switch with Great Bows, you could just kill him with 2 attacks of 6, right? Like and then you win the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn sweet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the way you can look at it is it's sort of like a budget Master of the Hunt, right?
I'm not so sure that Master of the Hunt isn't the overpriced version of the Great Bros in that analogy, but one of the two. One of the two.
No, but you're absolutely right. Krav are quite reasonably. Yeah, they're just upgrading to Q9. So
Yeah.
Morrow opening, are they actually moving? I can't tell. Is stuff happening in
Yeah,
chat?
yeah. So that game has just started. The other one hasn't started up yet, but we got that game going now. Looks like
Oh,
OG
okay,
had
perfect.
3 order markers on Mara Warriors, and is basically going with. I mean, presumably there's 2. The order marker on Raylan's kind of weird. I wonder if that's actually the 3.
So immediately, I don't like at all that a brute grut on the north side is out of Raylan's aura.
Yeah, agree. All the brute grit should be within the aura. There's no real like that's just asking for trouble. Um, I wonder what OG's planning on targeting with the Maros. I could honestly see the Maros trying to take out a Great Bow in this round one. Like if they get one Great Bow, that sets up the brutes for a much better round two, round three situation.
I agree. That's exactly what I'd be targeting here.
Like you're not going to kill Gilbert. Even like maybe you put a couple of wins on Gilbert. Who cares? You get one knight. Who cares? You get a Great Bow. You take out like that entire piece of the army. Um, that being said, Great Bows are large and not huge, so they do get the jungle bonus that one just took.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a strong argument that Great Bows maybe should have just started in the back of the start zone, as counterintuitive as that sounds, because like you're kind of trying to dispatch them and like set up these plays, but at the same time, you only have two of them, and you have to be pretty careful that they don't just get shot by Maros, right? You don't have Raylan, so they're only going to be they're base 3 defense, right?
Yep, base 3 defense.
You have 2 life, obviously, but still, it's only 4 defense next to Bush. Yeah, I mean, and if he doesn't move that Great Bow in the north of the start zone, there's at least one. I mean, I'm probably taking 2 Maro shots down into it 3v3s.
Yeah.
You might even go 3 depending on how these knights end up finishing their moves. It just sort of depends. But, you know.
I would think that Great Bow would. I'm surprised that Great Bow didn't move next to Jungle here with that second move.
It's either that I might honestly have dispatched both of them backwards.
It's an
that feels pretty bad, but like if you see the Maro rush, you have to be really careful at this point.
Yeah, I think I actually like that better than starting them in the back of the start zone, because then you can do that as a backup plan if they go with the full Maros, and then if you don't see this Maro opening, you have them primed to get up to height, but for round 2 with Dagmar.
Sure. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, nice best of both worlds situation.
I guess the other play would have been lead Great Bows for OG, right? Realistically.
I could also see OG just developing everything in round 1 too, just getting a bunch of stuff up on the plateau. I don't know if it's necessarily good or not, but like I think some people are going to play that army in that way, where there's an order marker on everything.
I would just be a little concerned about my opponent's Great Bows then. Like,
sure.
I'm just going to immediately try to aggressively trade my 2 Great Bows for 2 Brutes, and like that's how I'm going to lead, right?
I'd have been pretty surprised if I saw anything but all Knights order markers in round 1 here. It's a pretty risky play if you do that.
It is, but I kind of am okay with Knights into like the rest of this army.
If you can get the trade, yeah.
I want to see these Brutes.
My biggest problem with that is that you're giving up the Knight's ability to also get Dagmar going into round 2 with that version. Like, if this map didn't have Dagmar, I think there's more merit to that opening than going with the Knights while dispatching Great Bows.
Right. At that point, I would be looking to like lead with them, drop back with them, and then go for more of a switch order marker or like round 2 into round 3.
Yeah, fair.
Not just take 3 turns with the Great Bows where they just charge forward only. Be like order marker 1, move up, order marker move, order marker 2, move and shoot, and then order marker 3 kind of depending either like hard drop back or like if I lost the first round initiative, maybe stay up there and shoot again, right?
So it looks like the Maros are going to target Knights here. I'm not seeing the dice be rolled in my chat, so I don't know if they have been rolled or not. But I am seeing a bunch of Maros highlight and target that one Knight next to Gilbert.
They all missed, and I think this is too conservative of Maro play.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that one Great Bow that I'm either taking 4 shots into that one that's next to the bush, or I'm taking like 2 to 3 into the other guy, keeping one more protected and be willing to drop back. Because like if I can neutralize the Great Bows, I feel like I am in great shape here.
I think the biggest problem is that was your only chance to neutralize the Great Bows. You won initiative as OG. Like, you're going to get initiative switched into here, almost certainly. And your Maros are never going to have height on those Great Bows again for the entire rest of the game. Yeah, I feel like there's just not going to get enough value out of this Mara opening now. Well, I mean, aside from the fact that they missed everything, but like, yeah. Um, Now, I mean, a good dispatch, you could even catch one of those Maros now. You just need two on dispatch to get a knight to the middle. Eldgrim,
Oh, it's to the bottom, like the guy all the way to the south.
yeah. Although that's also not what's happening. It looks like Eldgrim is going to take Dagmar now, which I don't like.
My guess is that it's an Ord marker 3 on Great Bows.
Oof. I mean, you might be right. I don't feel like they have enough development to do that yet, though. I'd be so like I don't know. Passing up a dispatch when a two will catch the Morrow is just that feels sad to me.
Right, that's why I think it's a tell on the order marker.
That's fair. Certainly reasonable. So if you're, I mean, if you're OG and you get that read, you just send all of them in, right? I might actually,
100%.
yeah. I don't even. Well, there's some merit to going for Eldgrim just because two wounds and finishes him off. But I think I just ship them all in for Great Bows and say screw Eldgrim. Like I'm gonna get one Great Bow here. I'm gonna take. If you target that bad Great Bow, you're gonna get 4 attacks at 3v3. You're probably gonna get him.
Yeah, either that or I'm taking 3 and then playing the last one more conservatively just to hedge in case.
Yeah.
Like make sure one stays in Raylan's aura.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
So if you're gonna do that, he could back up to back jungle and then you could have the one shoot Eldgrim while the other three go for the Great Bow.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking at here. And I think that's perfectly reasonable too to hedge just in case it is the Knights and you don't want to just give up the Maros for free.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is again where I really would have liked to see Maros shooting the Great Bows already, because then you could like you wouldn't have
even one wound on one of them sets it up. Yeah. And it does look like, as Mega pointing out in the chat here, it does look like SRD versus Loki is getting set up. So just to cover that matchup here briefly, so we've got Loki with I believe Loki has the dragons and SRD has the Death Chasers. So it's Quahan with 4 squads of green scales. So again, no range squad, no Maros, no Krav or anything, maxing out on the common squad. In this case, greenies instead of spiders. And then we have the only Death Chasers build I think that anyone brought this event, which is 5 with Adelburn and Raylan, which is the one I thought was the best. So I think that makes sense. There were a few different permutations of Death Chasers that were like viable at this point total, but I think I agree with running this particular copy of it. Adelburn inside Raylan's aura is just such a menace. 8 life, 5 defense, chomp, 5 attack. Like dealing with that is just not fun.
It's Grimnack with 3 extra life. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Plus and 5 attack. Grimnack and 5 attack.
Correct.
Yeah. That's a.
It does start feeling more like a king version of heavies, right? Like more of your you care way more about not way more, but like as much as you care about Grimnack with heavies, the heavies can still carry stuff. Whereas like the chasers, if Raylan and Burn go down, you're toast, right? Like yeah, chasers can do some stuff, but they're just gonna get lit up.
But I mean, unless your opponent has Braxis, it's pretty hard to kill Adelburn quick. Well, I know Braxis, never mind. Brattleburn's huge, or large, or whatever. I'm insane. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Unless they have Deadeye Dan, is what you meant.
Yes, that is of course what I meant. Deadeye Dan, the notorious cheese sharpshooter. That would be an unfortunate way to lose, but.
Yeah, just play out lag and just say I'm going to probably dice one person out of this event. Good luck, everybody.
True, you probably get one. Cutting back real briefly to the OG versus Drumtooth. So OG backed up the Maros and shot Knights and missed all 4 again.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously rough dice there. I guess we'll see where this Ore Marker 3 is. Yeah, it is on the Great Bows. Okay.
Yeah, so your read was correct then on that situation. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, not a terrible play to just Eldgrim there on Ore Marker 2 just to bluff like the Great Bows on 3. That would be like the next level mind game. But I was pretty sure that we're looking at Great Bows here. So Great Bows going to be able to shoot 2 Maros. One's outside of Raylan's aura, actually. So, I mean, I'm definitely killing that one. You shoot an Elder. You can't... I don't think you can really set yourself up for a good switch, though.
you can't. You really needed to have had multiple dispatches on Great Bows in order to set up for that switch, which is kind of the downside of doing this Great Bows Order Marker 3 because just you won't have had time to do it. And now
Right.
you're probably not you're 83% to not have the chance to get the switch from 2 into 3. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess your best case scenario here now is just to kill Mara Warriors across the switch, take out all 4 of them.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting here is he's actually set himself up for that great bow that just moved on to the level 3 can shoot the Morrow
Yeah.
like on level 3 and then have a 7 range, like an exactly 7 range to the other one, right?
But this second Great Bow that just moved isn't 7 range away from anyone.
And again, I think you could have set yourself up to do the exact same thing on the other side of the map against the other 2 Morrows.
Yeah, I would even be. I would rather like. I would probably just be on level 2 to be 7.
You could be on a level 3 dungeon.
Is that
right?
That's only 6
Right
away.
next to 3, 4, 5. Oh shoot, you're right. I miscounted. Yep.
Yeah, you have to back up and be on level 2 to do it. Which although the level 3 and just taking an attack of 4 is probably just still better.
Right. I agree.
We get the first one with a whiff from OG. Dice have not been kind to him thus far. Let's see if we get a second. If we get a second Morrow here, I don't like this shot here, as I would shoot the other one. Save that Morrow for your 7 range off the switch.
I guess it splits up your attack dice, right? Like you get 4 now, and then you get 4 next turn level ground, as opposed to like 3 and then 6.
I just really want to. I think I'd rather get him try to get 3 kills at a higher frequency, because then that one Morrow, he either has to waste order markers bringing that one Morrow back, or it's a sitting duck to kill easily after that. I think both of which I'm fine with.
Yeah. Yeah, you really want to get 2. I always feel like if I get Morrows down to 2, I start forcing my opponent into some pretty bad decisions, especially like early. Like late game, obviously, like 2 Morrows are fine. But you really want to get them to 1. If you get them to 1, you're generally in a favored position. But like early game, like once you get them to 2, it starts the Bar Warrior order markers, as good as they are, their order markers start becoming not so good.
Yep. All right, so cutting back over, we do have the Chasers versus Greenscales game going on now. So SRD has done Battle Rush for all of the Chasers. Looks like they Battle Rushed almost all heavy side towards Lorja Valda. I don't know if I like that.
I don't see why you need Lorja Valda.
I think I want Dagmar. I think I want to have Raylan my Raylan movement cover Dagmar in some capacity to where you can potentially get a switch where you double chomp 2 spots and then get that many Death Chasers next to Quahan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to guess that she's going to go onto the level 4 rock here.
It would seem reasonable. It's a pretty beautiful Quahan spot. Although that is going to require Raylan to move.
I mean, SRD's Raylan.
Oh,
she's going to pair. Okay, I don't like seeding the whole shadow. Like, I feel like the shadow is so powerful.
Yeah, I want that. I want to have this. Yeah, I think I would have rushed the other direction.
Yeah.
And then
that's
I think
where I'm at.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I probably put Raylan on shadow myself. So there's the bottom shadow. Okay, so how do I describe this? So there's a 4 hex grass. The top right of that, there's a shadow spot there, but the bottom shadow between the 2 grass spots.
Yep.
So that's 6 move out of the start zone, and you can cover Dagmar from there, as well as basically all of the height. I think that's probably where I would have put my Raylan, and then battle rushed that direction instead.
Okay, interesting.
I just really like covering Adelburn on the shadow all the way through the middle to the far side with that one move, and also covering the Dagmar guy. I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't know. That's I haven't spent a ton of time thinking about it, but.
Yeah, are you waiting until like order marker 2 to make that play? Or you just order marker 1 and then just say if Quahan chains, because that's the issue is that like Quahan can then shoot round 1 or turn 1.
Yeah, I might even wait until it's either order marker 2 or order marker 3. I think you might even do it on order marker 3. Like, I just don't want my Raylan to die.
Sure.
Alternatively, yeah, I think you're one of those two. One of those two. Going back to the OG game, versus Drumtooth. It looks like Drumtooth does get the initiative switch, and the Great Bows get no kills off of that, which is painful. OG Blaha with the casual 8 out of 12 defense. Pretty solid.
Pretty good. Interesting that OG still has 2 on Morrows. So, I mean,
I would think the X. I would think this is just like the one in the X on Morrows. I'm not. I don't love this Brute Gret's order marker though very much because I don't think the Knights are going to get close enough to them. Although we do wound a Great Bow, that's pretty big. Oh, and we kill it. That's a dead Great Bow. That's pretty massive.
That's very massive.
I think
the thing is, I'm not even sure that you want order marker 1 on Great Bows here. Like, was the upside that high? I guess if you could have shot, you could have shot Brutes. I guess it is worth it because there was an argument even to just order marker 1 on Knights, right?
Mm-hmm. There definitely was. I think the biggest you needed a dispatch of 3 to get a Knight to the best possible position, which is a little bit unfortunate. But if you hit that 3 dispatch, it would have been like absolutely amazing because then you could have got a Knight on height next to the 2 Morrows and just like they're just done. And then I think our third game is about to start as well here. So it looks like Bean and MTSP are placed in their start zones as well. So keep an eye on that momentarily. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean that's always the downside of trying to get too cute with it with different pieces in the same army, right? Is like, you know, you're giving up all these moves with your Knights to be able to take these Great Bow activations that didn't end up doing anything really, right?
Yeah.
Like you traded 1 Great Bow for 1 Morrow. So I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to try to approach it. No Raylan just makes the Great Bows way more fragile.
Agreed. If I'm OG here, I think I bring my Morrows back on the next order marker, whether it's on them or not. I think I like flexing it to them and just getting them back into the start zone. At this point, I think I want to keep the Morrows alive for endgame and then switch to Great Bows, trying to kill 1 or 2 Knights a turn.
Yeah, this is why I don't like whatever. I don't like even putting an X on Brutes here.
I agree. Yeah, agree.
I just don't like what that does. This is kind of what I was saying earlier in the chat about Rygarn armies and how people play it. Is that I often find that I don't agree with like I either somebody puts an order marker where it's just like realistically that never should have been there, like an actual numbered order marker, where it's like it's just if you didn't have Rygarn, you wouldn't have put that there, right?
Yeah.
And if that's sort of my litmus test, unless it's like genuinely like, oh, order marker 1, extremely high upside with low downside, or with potential high downside if I lose initiative. Like, unless it's specifically that, it's like if you're putting an order marker just because you have Rygarn, that's generally not a good look.
I think my order markers. I think my order markers for OG there would have been 1 and X on Morrows with 2 and 3 on Great Bows, and then if your Morrows get killed on order marker 1, you can flex it to a full Great Bows, and if they survive like they did, you can take the shots and then flex the 2 to the Morrows and get them the hell out of there.
I agree, 100%. And that's where you can really leverage Rygarn. Is on that flex at that point, right? You're hedging against the worst case scenario.
Yep, right. I just want to be able, regardless of what happens, you're set up for the best possible order markers for both situations. Alrighty. Let's see. So in the Loki versus SRD game, I don't think there's been any attacks yet. It looks like the Chasers are playing pretty conservatively. Makes sense. Adalburn's sort of rushed up in that direction. The Chasers do have move +1 now, which is good, certainly. So it looks like Raylan hasn't moved yet for the Quahan army. I think I'm fine with Raylan not moving, but I hate having her next to height if she's not going to move.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's kind of... I wouldn't be surprised. I guess I just don't... So if he's not moving her on order marker 2, I really do not like moving her on order marker 3, because it potentially sets yourself up to really get hard initiative switched, right?
If I was going to move Raylan, I would have done it on order marker 1. Like, she's not going to get pinged. There's no range piece to ping her. And Oftentimes, you want to put a later order marker on Raylan to see what direction your opponent's going. But one thing about Death Chaser's battle rush is they've already told you where they're going. Even if you win initiative, you know what direction that army is developing towards.
100% agreed. I can see order marker 2. I don't mind order marker 2 on Raylan, but order marker 3
Yeah, three is
definitely would be
three.
problematic.
Yeah. I think if I wasn't going to move Raylan, I'd have her just down one more spot. And if I was going to move her, I actually think I would just push her one spot forward, up to that level 2 uh, dungeon spot next to the bush. Only big merit to that is that she can then cover Quaihan on either the 4 hex or the 3 hex heighted spots. Not that you're going to send Quaihan there in the near future, but it does allow for that possibility, at least later in the game if you want to take it. That being said, I probably like just not moving her at all and just having her more protected because your opponent has no range.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't mind her next to the tree. Like it's a 2 space move instead of 1. Or I don't hate that either. It covers you a little bit better going towards Dagmar's side, but I guess seeing how SRD has chosen to play, I mean that would have been my inclination before I saw him rushing to the north side, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I would have expected to see a little more play on the Dagmar side. So I guess I disagree with myself then, based on that rush decision, which will be interesting to see how it plays out. Looking at the Beam game, so it looks like Laglor and Raylan are pretty much set up where we were talking about pregame.
Yeah.
Looks like the first squad troopers are in fact getting a little bit more aggressive, right? They're going to start pressuring. Everything so far looks fairly reasonable. I don't like that Raylan move at all. Raylan just moving like 3 spaces to there.
No, she's got to go. She's got to go more aggressively. Your opponent's got 8 range. Yeah, she's gonna have to move again.
We basically just lost 3 spider moves because of that.
Yep, and potentially a lightning breath.
So OG, Order Marker 2 on Maros. Interesting that he's not. Did he flex?
Yeah, this got flexed to Great Bows, and then Great Bows are set up to take max range shots at knights, and they get both. Yeah, interesting. Well, the Maros are just dead now. With them, when you let them, yeah. So this probably, yeah. I mean, they're going to be dead, but they did a pretty good job in the. I mean, they traded well. I'm quite sad to not have the potential to have them against 3 knights in the end game if it comes down to it, but certainly he got value out of them in this opening. And Drumtooth has the 3 on Great Bows. Oh no.
That kind of makes sense based on the dispatch of that Great Bow again.
Yeah.
I guess you're just hoping to get lucky on Raylan.
You got a one-shotter though. We just put 3 wounds on her, and it's. Well, you got a shot to win initiative. So if you don't lose that Great Bow here, let's see. Does OG have any Great Bows that are max range away from it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Just one. So I'm taking that Great Bow v Great Bow attack and hoping to take it out.
Correct.
Because if you don't, he's like at this point, Drumtooth is going to have the 1 there, and yeah, that's going to be it. It's certainly potential. It's enough to do it. We're going to have 5 defense. Need a 1 for 5 to get the kill. Oh, what we shot Eldgrim. Interesting. So he chooses to take out Dagmar instead of going for the Great Bow.
So I don't like that. You're increasing your odds of winning initiative by like 32% or something, but like that still doesn't guarantee you initiative by any stretch.
Yeah. It does make it a little bit scarier for Drumtooth to put the 1 on the Great Bow, and then the second attack does not go through. Hopping back over to the.
Like you still have to put it there though.
Yeah, I agree. You're behind. You need things to go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to commit the rail and kill.
Yeah. You can't put 3 wounds on her and then give up on the play. That's not the way.
If you really wanted to take out Eldgrim, I almost think I would have potentially like moved a different Great Bow because they're independent, right? One can shoot without moving and get the buff, and then the other one can move still and could have just like shot down at Elgrim.
Yep, agreed. Although it works out and OG does win initiative. So, but to your point, we don't have 2 shots at that great bow now, like we should.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we are taking it. That's good. We're giving ourselves the chance to save our Raylan. Oh, that is a bad time to roll over 5.
Yep.
It'd be really funny if the 2 for 3 does it, though. No. Okay, never mind. Hopping back over to the Maklar Bean game, boy, I think Bean is in good shape, just looking at that board state. Maklar's been uber conservative, and Bean has 6 micros with 8 range just shooting shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I like trying to mass up spiders a little bit, but again, this is where losing those 3 moves is pretty problematic.
But if you're gonna mass up, if you're gonna mass up spiders, you don't move Raylan. You just have her in the front of the start zone and wait to move her. The moving her and moving, yeah, this is like the wrong combination of those principles.
Yes.
In the Discord chat, we have Justin saying, "Well, that was a choice." And to Superfrog's point, we're going to need some more clarifications because there are many games going on and many choices happening here.
Yeah, that's absolutely
hopping.
Absolutely true.
We do have a development down in the Drumtooth OG. It was on Great Bows, and Drumtooth does get Raylan, so that definitely gives him a shot here.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely the play. Like if you're going for Raylan, you commit to it.
Yep, and we got her, and he does get her. It's still going to be hard to get through those brute grets. I mean, he's still got all 4 of them, and that feels like it's going to be a problem.
At least with 4 defense, like if you can dispatch a knight in and then take that attack, and like it's at least a much better chance that you get the kill, right? Or at least I think it's a much better.
I think we've got to go for him at the end of this round for this switch, because we did, like, if we're Drumtooth, we lost initiative, which was unfortunate here, but it gives us a chance to initiative switch into those 4 defense brute grets and potentially take them out, or take out enough of them. Like if we can get 2 to 3 of them across the switch, which is probable, frankly, then you can potentially neutralize that threat. So that's I'm playing for that here. If I'm Drumtooth, this is our best shot to get those guys.
Wow.
The Loki SRD game still has had no dice rolled yet, so they're both being pretty cautious and conservative here. Loki's got a bunch of green, one greenie next to high ground, which I do not love.
I mean, you could also get cheeky and zap that greenie into the chaser on Shadow into Raylan.
You could. You definitely could. You definitely. I mean, I have zapped my own figures before with Quayhan. When you pull it off, it's quite amusing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 6 defense green scale, like.
Yeah, it probably survives.
And you're kind of saying, like, if you roll 3 for 4 or 4 for 4, that's still a 3 for 4 or 4 for 4 going into Raylan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you should do it, but it's definitely like not the worst choice in the world.
Like it's a legitimate decision point, whereas usually attacking your own figures are not. So, yeah, Loki does win initiative though. I'm guessing at this point his Raylan is just never going to move. Which,
I guess, yeah, 100%.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but then I just wouldn't have that green scale as forward as it was. I just don't want to be next to. I don't want to let Death Chasers take max height and get an attack in. Oh yeah, so chat's right. So going back to the OG Drumtooth rolled a 0 dispatch, so that's gonna make that initiative switch a lot harder to pull off.
Yeah. Is there a way? Oh, he did jump on the glyph. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's what we had identified early game or before the game, right? Is that like Lord Jovalda, not really something. Or I guess we were talking about a different game, but it's the same thing here.
It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder for Loki to kill the guy on the glyph though than it would be for Bean to kill the guy on the glyph. So like I like it more. I guess I like it more as SRD than I would have as.
Oh, I'm talking about OG. OG versus
Drumtooth. Sorry,
Drumtooth put a knight on the glyph that died to a great bow then.
Oh, I never even saw it. Okay, sorry, I didn't.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, okay, I don't like
7
that.
away from great bow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's not good then. I definitely, I missed him going there, and then he died so quickly. Ooh, and
Sorry,
then just a
just thinking
one
about
dispatch
pain.
this time. Well, the initiative switch plan was great until dispatch did not cooperate.
Yep. But again, like you had that knight not gone there, that knight could have been in a good spot to where he could be the one that you're
True.
getting to the brute run in the north side of the start zone.
True. Very true. And all right, so Bean is getting some max range shots in. Quaihan took, I believe, just one wound there. But Quaihan's up to 2 wounds. I don't know if it had taken one before, but yeah. So Quaihan's already taken 2 wounds here, and your troopers haven't gotten shot at. I like Bean. I think Bean's in. I mean, I think Bean had the better end of this matchup, but I also think this board state's just really good for Bean at the moment.
Agreed.
Um,
The only thing that's a little suspect here is that Quaihan can move on to level 4 and light up that line of troopers.
I think you should. Like that should be what's
You
happening.
absolutely
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right. So,
But
I
they
think you
are
could
all
have
in Rail.
switched
They are all
them
in
right with
Raylan
the
range though.
troopers.
Like none of them are outside the aura.
Right, but VCheese is a 3 for 4, and then they're all
This is
probably all 2 of the 3 are dead, right?
very few things in Heroscape for me are as fun as rolling 3 for 4 with Quaihan. It's just such an outcome.
You just don't like your opponents playing the game, huh?
Sometimes you want to go to lunch early.
Yeah. So SRD and Loki are still posturing. Only a 1 dispatch this turn for Drumtooth, which is really unfortunate. Definitely not what we want.
Oh, and I think that 17 was a Betacron roll.
Oh yeah, must have been. Yep.
So one knight that came in gets taken out by Beta. Yeah, I mean Raylan's down, but I still think OG's in the commanding position there. I mean, there's a lot of knights left, so maybe not. Brutes are just so good in tonight. Like, if I have the knights, I'm just so afraid of Brute Grits.
Agreed.
So Quaihan does move up to that max height spot, where the beautiful Quaihan spot. Okay. I'm not sure why we just copied the rules for Betacron onto the screen, but I guess that's what that was.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if he. I guess like maybe he didn't know. Like, was Jacob not rolling it for the knights that moved next to the Morrows in the first place? He might have. I honestly didn't even notice Betacron. Is Betacron the little guy that's next to the bush?
Yeah, it is. So I guess those knights were
gotcha.
those knights would have been within it then. I'm not sure if it got rolled and I didn't see it, or if it didn't get rolled. So let's see. Quaihan rolls the perfectly average roll. Oh no! So Loki did go for the. Oh, that's brutal. Loki does go for the hitting his own green scale. Rolls 3 for 4, kills the greenie, and then doesn't kill anything else.
That can happen.
That's a sad life.
He did get 1 onto Raylan.
True, 1 wound on Raylan.
Not what you want.
Man, the one for. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a cool play. I kind of like going for it, but that is a sad outcome.
I mean, that's basically almost worst case, right?
We do refill the spot. I bet that green scale who's taking this spot knows what his job is and is not looking forward to his next turn.
True.
All right, new round in OG versus Drumtooth. Drumtooth still got real order markers on Great Bows, at least one, probably the one. Given that we're on Dagmar, I'd expect that to be the one and X on Great Bows.
I think he's about to shoot Betacron. I just have a feeling because it's 7 away. Let's see what he chooses.
I like that better than shooting a single Great Bow. I don't. So we're shooting a Great Bow. I just don't think killing one Great Bow here is that impactful. He's got plenty.
what I would have done is there was a 1 dispatch last turn. I would have dispatched it the 1 space out of that shadow, and then it could have shot that brute.
Yeah, yeah, I like that better for sure. Brutes are the thing. Like brutes are the way that you lose this game as knights here.
Correct. That's a big
And
thing in this game, though. Of course, is target priority, right? Like, what exactly do I need to like? What matchups do I need to happen for me to win this game? What am I specifically
similarly
worried
here,
about?
I don't like OG returning fire though. I would be taking that heighted. You have no, it's not heighted, but you have a shot at the knight. You have a shot at a knight at 7 range. I would be taking that instead of hitting this great bow. Like I don't think Drumtooth's great bow has a second order marker on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unlikely too.
Well, doesn't matter if you roll bad, I guess.
Like that great bow could have shot like Dagmar guy, just like a free 5v4.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best shot you're gonna get into a knight all game. The thing is, like the great bow, I would be very concerned and want the great bow dead if it was shooting brute grunts. But if it's gonna be just shooting 1 great bow turn, I'm totally fine with him. Like I almost want to leave him with it.
Yeah, I'd love to take 1 shot into my great bows while I take 2 shots into knights. That's a fantastic trade.
Right. Yep.
Hopping over to MTSP versus Bean. So MTSP basically seems to be playing this where Raylan is safe, Quaihan's in Raylan's aura, and then we ship spiders outside the aura to tie up stuff, which, broadly speaking, I do like that approach in a Quaihan build. I think that we're a little bit underdeveloped on spiders. I probably wouldn't have sent 3 of them forward on that last turn. I might have only sent 1 and then brought up a few more. But I do like the general approach. Like, if I'm playing Quaihan spiders into a ranged common, that is for the most part what I'm doing, trying to keep my Raylan, protecting Quaihan and safe, and then, especially when you have this many spiders, just sacrificing them as individual engagers.
Yeah, you don't need 3 engaging. The only reason I would do that is, I presume that spider that's on level 3 couldn't have moved 1 more space, but there's merit to go for it if you can get the entangling web roll, because that like entangling
web... there was a micro still there. They got a kill, so that micro, there was a micro in that spot before the spiders moved.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yep.
I believe. I believe that was what this state looked like. But yeah, I wouldn't be engaging with 3. It's tempting to engage with 3 because on the surface you deny lightning. You deny them taking the special attack into Quaihan, but all they have to do is kill a single spider and then free up a guy to get the special attack anyways. So I think you just have to eat it. Like in general, I'm engaging with either 1 or 2 spiders depending on how many really good engagement spots I have, and then doing another 1 or 2 developments at the same time, just trying to keep that chain flowing to where like there's 1 or 2 spots that just always have a spider in them, tying up shit. Nothing else has happened in Loki versus SRD, although SRD's Death Chasers do look pretty damn intimidating in their little angle line that they've got going on there.
Yeah, I mean, the question will be, I mean, I guess the thing is, I actually don't know that the green scale should be as forward as they are, because like the Death Chasers are going to be able to engage.
I agree.
Raylan's aura. Like if everything is moved back just like a couple spaces, you force SRD to take another Raylan turn at some point.
Yep, agreed. Like if you're going to be this far, if you're going to be aggressive with green scales, I think you should have moved your own Raylan up a few spots on order marker 1 of the game.
100%.
You either don't move her and you play more conservatively, or you do move her and play more aggressively. But again, we're sort of in this middle ground here where we can't extend forward. Like we have opportunities to go get height on Death Chasers, but then we're leaving the aura, and it's just a little bit messy. Quaihan, in the other game, Quaihan took Quaihan took 1 more wound, so Quaihan has 4 life left. And Frozen, 0 for 4 on Lightning Breath special attack. That's not the way.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
We do get a good dispatch roll, finally, down as Drumtooth, 3 symbols. But I don't. They're just still so strung out, and I don't envy Drumtooth's position. If even 1 brute was dead, but with 4, it's just rough.
Zor marker 3, but OG still has one more. Yeah.
Oh, let me see if I can. Thanks, Mega. I put that commenter in a 24-hour timeout of some sort. I don't know if it's a spam bot or what, but appreciate it. Cool. Anywho, going back. Let's see. So Great Bows are still in Drumtooth for OG. Great Bows are still going to have one more turn here. Drumtooth's Great Bow is still not in position to hit any brutes, so I'd probably still just keep ignoring it and hope he takes turns on it.
Yeah, I completely agree. He dispatched it up onto the level 4, but the thing is that going up onto level 4 doesn't actually do anything because you are already getting height anyways on defense. So you're actually you're mostly just losing a die from Shadow.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like. I mean, I like dispatching him forward a spot, but that's a different decision. All right, what do we got going on here? Chasers. So Adalburn finally comes in. So this is the potential. Yeah, so it looks like we have the potential for an initiative switch, although a green scale was already on Dagmar blocking it. So Loki was preemptively blocking SRD from taking Dagmar for the initiative switch, but SRD is going for it anyways, hoping to get a couple chomps and then get that kill on the glyph green scale, which is it's a pretty high percentage attack. It's a 5. It's gonna be a 5v3. And and a chaser does 2 wounds to Quahan too. If SRD does get this initiative switch, it could be quite brutal.
Right, 100%.
Because we're gonna then see Adalburn chomp another green scale next to Quahan and come in and fill it. And he does get the one on the Dagmar on Dagmar, so it's gonna be a fair initiative, 50-50.
And he does need to get the kill though. He'll get a 6v6 down, and the thing is, he will need to get a kill though to get another chaser through.
Correct.
Actually, no, you can go with him into like either the shadow or
instead I was saying the same thing. I'd go to the level 3 grass because then you chomp down and then attack even, and you're guaranteed to get that second one in there.
You can actually get 3 in there.
It does leave Raylan's aura, but you're going to have to leave Raylan's aura no matter what. It's worth it to throw attacks of 4 into Quahan.
Yeah, it's either that or you move Raylan Order Marker 1, but I think it's worth getting the attacks.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
2 on Raylan.
It's interesting. If I had Dagmar, I think I like that more. Maybe there's a lot of merit to Order Marker 1 on Raylan here. Honestly.
Yeah.
There's just not a great spot for her. I think you'd have to put her on the 4 height behind Adalburn.
100%. Yep. That's exactly where I'd be looking at for her right now. There's really nowhere else she can go that's super good.
She needs to be on height. She needs to at least have height against the Lightning Breath special attacks. You can't put her on even ground with Quahan.
The only thing is I don't like, yeah, you're getting that 4-die attack, but if I'm going Order Marker 1 on Raylan, though, I don't know that I have the chaser on the shadow there. I might have done something different because I really hate giving up even ground height to I hate giving up height to a green scale.
I don't expect SRD to do the Raylan. If I'm playing against SRD here, I just expect it to be on chasers.
Sure.
It's so once you have this position, it's like, I mean, it's a close decision, but whether it's right or not, it's just really tempting to just kill all. You're just in position to kill so much stuff. For OG versus Drumtooth, we finally have a Brutes order marker. Looks like a few knights did come into the start zone, and so OG still has all 4 Brutes alive here. And we're going to see just 2 knights get attacked. I don't like bringing this many Brutes forward. There's a possibility that you lose a bunch of Brutes now.
Did I miss something? Did OG used Rygarn last round on something else, or if not, I would have done this on Ore Marker 3.
I think it
I think
stayed
we're
on.
on Ore
Yeah,
Marker 3 right now.
I don't think he did use it. I think it was just last round was just all great bows.
See, I think that's a pretty big mistake. I think you absolutely need to if you want to
Yeah.
play them aggressively, you absolutely need to go for and
The
doing
switch
Ore
off of it.
Marker 3 go for switch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your highest percentage play with that. As is, I wouldn't have sent him up onto the plateau at all. I probably would have just killed the one in the start zone, and then tried to protect them as much as I could. It's not worth exposing them all to. It's like he's exposing 3 of them to get 1 night kill here, which feels like a very bad ratio.
Yeah.
No, but it's gonna work out because Drumtooth has the 1 on Great Bows again. Oh, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out great. I mean, if this was a play because you're reading that the 1 is on Great Bows, it's gonna work out beautifully. Because now they're set up to just toast everything.
He does have the 1 on the Great Bow.
So the Great Bow's probably gonna get 1 brute here, and then your brutes are then gonna smack Knights of Weston. We do get the 1 brute. That limits it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's not good. That's yeah. This oof. That's
Yeah.
a really.
I like this. No, don't go there. Don't go there, OG. Why would we go to the middle and engage them both? Okay, we backed up at least. I don't think that's the play. I don't like that either. And double engage things. Why are we not doubling? Why are we not double engage?
How did you even get there? I think that's 5 to there or 6 to there.
It was 5. We have 5 move with brutes.
Was he under? Was he adjacent to level 3?
I'm not sure.
I thought he's back 1. I thought that was 6.
It's possible. I'm not 100% sure. Well, it's not going to work out though. Like I don't. So we just overextended brutes to attack a great bow. I mean, we got it, but like getting it's worse now. Now a knight is going to hop up there and kill you.
Correct.
Like you didn't even want to get that kill on great bows. I don't like these choices with these brutes.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, it all comes down to figure out what you need to kill of your opponents. Like, what's the big threat here, right? Like,
Knights.
What exactly do you want
Knights
for things to do in this matchup? And I feel like both players are sort of not properly evaluating that decision.
Agreed.
Jumping back to SRD, it's interesting. So he ended up, so Loki had to step away for a second. So it means that while we were looking at that game, we didn't miss too much, but he got 3 more wounds into Quaihan, so Quaihan only has 2 life left. But Battleborn actually just completely dropped back, so that Quaihan can't lightning breath anything from that chaser. That's a very interesting play.
It is. It's quite interesting. I like that more if we'd lost initiative than with us winning initiative. Like it's definitely interesting and it's worth considering. But I don't. Yeah, I think if I'd lost initiative, I like that play a lot more. Then you pull back, you deny the next 2 Quaihan order markers, and then you try to come in again.
Right.
With winning initiative, I mean, man, if we'd gotten 1 more attack in on Quaihan there, we might have just won the game on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, with getting 3 wounds, you're probably still you're still in amazing shape at this point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely are.
You've traded 1 chaser for. Currently, you've traded 1 chaser for 5 wounds and 1 wound on your own Raylan for 5 wounds on Quaihan and 4 green scales.
I do think I like the Raylan order marker more than the backup, though. I might like the backup more than coming in, but you're still gonna have to come in later, anyways. Well, Adelburn can come back in now and chomp the guy on height and then attack the guy on even ground. And if he gets the attack, we can get another chaser next to Quaihan.
One, two, three, four, five. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Which may end up getting allowed. I'm not sure.
mean, I think you have to shove a green scale up to stuff it.
Oh yeah, you do. You cannot let if you're Quaihan here,
have
you
to
cannot let a Death Chaser get to you on this next turn. It cannot happen.
Yeah. Yeah. All you have to do is throw one green scale up onto the level 3 in the dead center of the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, engage all the Death Chasers, and then Adelburn can't walk through them.
Correct. You just completely gum it up.
Yep, he can't walk over the glyph in the other direction anyways, so that just it just ties everything. Checking in on the Bean game real quick. Quaihan's still at the same 3 wounds, so Quaihan hasn't taken any more damage. We do have so we have 7 dead spiders to 5 dead micros. But there's not any more micros there's only 1 micro still in the lightning breath range at the moment. And it looks like micros are pretty content to just take 2v6s at Quaihan from the start zone at the moment. Which there's not much Quaihan can do to counter that until Raylan moves forward. So I'm curious if Macklar is going to have a Raylan order marker this round to help push up. We do. Yep, it is. So the 1 is on Raylan here, and we're going to see Raylan move up to. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like that spot. I think that's a good spot to go for with Raylan. You're 1 spot. You're 1 away from the special attack from the start zone micros. Yeah, which is as close as you can get without exposing yourself to that 4v5. You're probably going to take one. You're going to take 1 from the middle guy anyways, but there was no way to avoid that. And he's going to die. Yeah. That's a good spot. And now we're going to see that 4v4 into Raylan, which the outcome of that. Okay. Yeah. If that had done a bunch of wounds, I would have targeted her more, but now you're not going to. Now it's. Man, I don't even know if it's worth shooting Raylan now. These 2v5s are awful.
I honestly am taking my 4v5 into Quaihan there.
That's fair.
That's my approach. Is like I'll take the 4v5 and then see if I want to keep shooting Quaihan.
That's fair. I mean, killing Quaihan is good. Right. Ooh, Sheep is right. So the 8 p.m. game is coming up as well. So let me go ahead and find that. I have those other ones ready. Cool. Let me go ahead and pull it over to join the screen. If you're watching the stream, bear with me while I get this situated. I'm gonna have to make a few other things disappear so that I can see all 4 games.
Is that Dundane?
Yes, Dundane versus Dutch Bandit.
Cool, yeah, so Heavy Gruts. We get to see Heavy Gruts. 4 squads of Heavy Gruts with Nirak and Hrognak. The little guy version, though, just a little range bonder, versus 5 squads of Chasers, Raylan and Adelburn. So we'll get to see how Dutch Bandit wants to play the Chasers, where he's going to be rushing, etc. Heavies have the only range bonder in this matchup, so they can control the board a little better. But the thing is, the Chasers are not going to give a lot of space here, and it's. I think I would rather have the Chaser side of the matchups by a slight margin, maybe.
Interesting. I'm on the flip side. This is part of the reason I ran Heavies, is because I like the Heavies version of it.
Interesting. Okay. We'll see. On this map, I don't know.
Just out activating. You have more dudes and you're out activating them. I mean, Adelburn's scary. Adelburn's freaking scary. Don't get me wrong.
Adelburn on a shadow map is kind of nuts.
Well, you should be able to. I mean, don't engage him on shadow.
You can certainly try to do that, but you can make it pretty awkward for your opponent. Are we just not battle rushing?
Oh my. Are they on? I'm gonna see if it's not too. I don't know if it's too late to tell them about that.
It's not. Oh, he's battle rushing now. We're good.
Okay. All right. They caught it. All right. Yeah, that would have been a pretty bad one to miss. That's the entire purpose of that army. Okay.
So jumping back, SRD is he's completely content to just keep tucking 1 Chaser in there and taking the 1 attack.
I mean, that's a pretty sweet trade. Like if you're gonna be able to keep getting away with that trade, it's fantastic. You're not exposing your army to any risk, and you have tons of upside. So.
Oh, he did go with Adelburn. That's how he was able to clear it. So yeah, I mean, not throwing a green scale up out of Raylan's aura to gum that up and prevent Adelburn from doing that is pretty. That's pretty costly.
Agreed. Let's hop back over to
Okay.
Drumtooth OG here. So we have. I'm trying to see how many of the brutes are dead. Let me hop into this one. So 2 brutes are dead. No.
He also needs to start attacking with Gilbert like earlier, because like he's now down to 2 knights in Gilbert, and Gilbert
Yeah.
has never attacked. I don't know that Gilbert's attacked a single figure all game, right?
Yeah, and then this game's pretty much over at this point. There's just not enough knights.
Agreed.
So for the heavies versus Death Chasers that just started up, it looked like they didn't undo the Raylan and initiative thing. Um, which, I mean, they should, but it's a little. I guess at this point, it's kind of too late to unwind it. I'm also not an mod in any capacity, so I don't want to suggest that in their game here. It does give the Death Chasers like a slight edge with Battle Rush, knowing that they have 1 initiative already. Like it's a little bit more information for them, but
It is. I don't know that it really meaningfully changes much. Like you're.
no, yeah, I don't think it does in this particular instance. But in theory.
Mhm.
So Boromir in the chat says Gilbert was attacking brutes before on the middle of the board.
Okay, I must have missed that. Jumping
Yeah,
between
there's a lot of
games.
there's a lot of games. Appreciate for the chat. Anyone in the chat who's been helping us, thank you. This is many
Yes.
games to follow.
I guess my thing with Grimneck on this map is I actually just don't like this map very much for Grimneck. I don't think. Like yeah, you can go on to one of those 2 hexers, but your opponent can kind of just opt out of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, this game,
I just don't
I
see
mean,
spots for
the
him.
Dune the Death Chasers versus Heavies game should be entirely based on Dagmar. Like both of those armies should want the Dagmar switch just like
Yes,
so badly.
absolutely, yeah.
I don't even like the fact that I don't like that Death Chasers battle rush towards Lord Javalda at all. I would just exclusively be going with the Death Chasers. I would just exclusively be going south on this map. Like you don't need move. You don't care about move. It.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like Raylan placement. I don't like the fact that Raylan doesn't cover Dagmar, and I don't like the fact that half the chasers are on the north side of the map. Yeah, I pretty strongly dislike those decisions. I think. All right, what games? What other game states are we at here? Okay, so going back to Bean versus Maklar. Interestingly, after that Raylan movement, a lot of the micros rushed up forward, which I don't think I like.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bean is the one playing the micros, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think Bean is just getting too focused on Raylan, right? Which is always my concern here. And that's why I would have taken that heavy weapons into Quahan. Is that
Yeah.
like you need to kill Quahan, and so I get the spacing of the micros, but the thing is, MTSP didn't even have to do this. He could have hit that micro into Laglor into Raylan, like if he wanted to. So it's not even really spaced exactly properly to avoid.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he was able to do that.
And
I missaw. I thought Laglor was highlighted. So yeah, it was micro Raylan, which is better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the line.
And we get both, and he got both micros.
Correct.
And we should be able to engage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we can take a single spider and engage both of the other micros, which is what should be happening. And then I would develop another spider up out of the back.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, probably up along the north end. I would probably take one of the 2 that's still in the start zone and bring it 7 spaces around the north side to where it's able to re-engage those micros on its next turn.
You can go up into level 3 covered by Raylan, and you're just chilling.
Yep. Yeah. I like that spot. I think that's the best plan. And then actually from there too, if you really needed Lord Javal to do something cute, you could take it. Like you probably don't, but occasionally something opens up where like 8 move is just amazing. All right, going back to the OG versus Drumtooth game, it looks like Great Bows killed Gilbert.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that one's. I mean, that's just a Samu left, so it's pretty much over. I'm gonna leave it up on stream. Well, I mean, Samu has done crazy things before. I wouldn't put any money on this particular one, but we'll leave it on stream with the others for as long as the Samu's out there kicking. But yeah, I mean, OG basically has it.
and then
in the bag.
heading back to Loki, Loki has now lost 8 green scales, and Quahan has 1 life left. So even though Bernie is not in the best Bernie is outside of Aura, getting attacked by greenscales, etc.
Yeah.
You've
There's
just
enough
sort
death
of
there.
decimated Loki's army, where I don't see Loki coming back from this.
Even if you lose Adelburn, you have enough Death Chasers to just finish it.
And you still have Raylan.
Like trading Adelburn for greenscales is the trade you want to make in this matchup. Right. So and for the most part, SRD has been able to pull that off. So like that's what you want. You want Adelburn chomping greenscales and then setting up Death Chasers being able to hit Quaihan hard. Hard to complain about the way that's been going for SRD in this one. So, pretty good. Quaihan's pretty wounded there. Oh, Loki just rolled. Yeah. Wait, is that the Quaihan? Loki did get a 4-for-4 off Lightning Breath this turn, though. I wonder how many wounds that did to Adelburn. So Bernie is up to just 3 wounds, though. He's still got 5 life. Man, that dude is a tank.
Yep. It's interesting that the Spiders game now is probably Macklar favored.
I think it has switched. I think that bringing up that squad of micros is going to come back to bite Bean pretty hard there.
Agreed.
Yeah, you could have you're
going to get more heavy weapons throughout the game. You don't necessarily need to force it.
You're also anytime if you outrange Quaihan, you want to force Spiders to develop without attacking. If you let them develop and engage, that's exactly what the Spiders player wants to do. So if you sit in that start zone, you're forcing every Spider that Macklar has in his start zone to spend 2 moves just to get to the edge of the battle, and instead now they can just get right in there. Yeah, I think Bean was in the commanding position, but that move forward really hurt. I mean, if you get Quaihan quickly here, like Bean's win condition here is now kill Quaihan in the next 2 turns.
Yeah, but you just don't. Is that even a win condition? You don't have micros left.
I mean, 4 defense micros are going to block Spider. I think it is because Spiders don't even get height on micros. Like the way that Spiders normally want to play cute end games is to use their 7 move to get height, but they can't even pull it off. So you're just taking 2v4s.
I mean, they've got 2 micros in water.
Yeah, but they can't attack from height. Micros have a power that you can't have height on them. Hard targets.
Oh, okay. I did not remember that at all.
It's a funky power. It works with Laglor especially well though because they can shoot from low ground and then you don't get height when you're shooting back into them.
Interesting. Okay. The only thing I remembered was the heavy weapons. So for those who don't know, I am not a VC expert.
Yeah, it's a real.
I'm commenting. Luckily, most of these units either A, I've played with, like Brutgrutz, for example, or B, they're classic units, so it's not too bad.
We got a couple Quaihans going in action here.
Yeah.
Everyone who's played against Quaihan has memories of what Quaihan can do.
You know what's funny? I don't think I've ever played against Quaihan.
Really, I brought Quaihan to a couple of the locals. We must not have. Those must have been like the few events we didn't play in each other in then, because I know I ran Quaihan in at least 1, if not 2, of the Springfield.
I thought it was just 1.
It might have just been 1.
Nightmares.
Yeah, well, I hit the extreme positive end of the Quaihan variant there. I think so. George had 10th reg, and I opened with a 3-for-4 and a 4-for-4, and killed half of the 10th reg immediately.
Correct. And it was on Can't See the Jungle, where you're just immediately in their face.
Yeah, I think it was in round 1. I think it was order markers 2 and 3 of the game that did that.
With a move glyph with 9 move spiders.
Yeah. Sometimes the map and the dice just choose you. We're gonna.
Oh boy, yeah.
Briefly on the OG Drumtooth, it's even worse for Drumtooth, as some chat just pointed out, because Betacron triggers on Isamu and Vanish. So Isamu not only has to hit his own D20, he has to fade the Betacron D20.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just painful.
Yep.
Macklar, it looks like Macklar just got a few more kills, or at least 1 in a Raylan wound, because we had another 3-for-4 Quaihan Lightning Breath. So in that game, Quaihan's still at 4 life. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even like using Lightning Breath targeting Raylan, honestly, at this point in the game.
Yeah, I just go for micros.
Yeah, use clear micros and you're just gonna win.
You got like get micros below
game,
a squad. Get micros below one squad.
right. Loki game is pretty much over. Quayon's dead. So
Sheep for since you asked about it in the chat, I will bring the webcam and stuff back once we're down to 3 games. I had to had to hide all of that in order to show 4 at once. So that's why some stuff went away. But I'll get the once we're down to 3 games again, I will get the orientation back up. So Quayhan's down in SRD versus Loki.
Yep,
yeah.
game's over.
So that one's. We got 2 games that are basically over here.
Yep.
And then 2 games that are, the other Quayhan game is probably over. And then let's pivot down to the heavies Death Chasers then now, because that's probably the most interesting spot that's left here.
For sure.
So has anything been killed yet in this, or there's just been just been one attack and nothing's. I guess some things might have been chomped.
Yes, one thing got chomped by Adelburn. Adelburn went crashing in there, I guess, and chomped a heavy on that.
To get that chaser.
Yeah. Where that chaser, right?
I do not like the heavies development in this game. I don't like. There's a heavy on the north side for, like, in my opinion, no reason. I guess he's up there in theory to try to counter Lord Javalda, but like, no. Just like every single heavy gret should be in Narak's aura contesting the Dagmar side.
You already naturally contested with that one heavy that's next to the bush on level 2.
True. Yeah, he can already get. He can already get height.
He's already 5 away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one's in all the. Yeah, that one's boosted, but yeah. No, I yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't love that. I don't love that. That one heavy gret, I think, should not be there. I think that the OG Drumtooth is over. I see a 5 from Drumtooth on the D20. So that looks like Isamu's dead.
Okay, yeah, must be.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that one. So for that game, OG Blaha, or Go Blaha, as he got accidentally renamed in the stream, was victorious. Congrats, OG. Moving on to the next round there. I'll take a look at the bracket. Let me get the screen reoriented for viewers, and then I'll take a look at the bracket and so you can see who OG is going to play next. So let me get these, the graphics that I had from before back up. There we go. Cool. And we should be good there. I can probably make this game a little bit bigger as well on stream. Let me see if that's too big to get covered up. Nope, perfect. Okay. All right, so we've got those 3 up now. And yeah, let me take a look at the bracket. So we had OG Blaha wins that game. Where was it? I think this was in the lost side, or was this in the winner's side? Yeah, this was in the lost side. So OG Blaha has advanced to round 3 in the one lost side of the bracket, and is going to be awaiting the winner of. If reading brackets is hard, y'all. Where the hell did I go? OG Blaha is going to play the loser of V. Oh, hey, that's me, potentially. So OG Blaha is going to face the loser of my game versus Earthling in the next round. So I can't preemptively wish you good luck, Jacob, unfortunately, because it might be me. So we'll see. Jacob's back in the chat here. Who said GBAs aren't cheese viable? There you go, Jacob. You did it. You got the win. Pretty good win.
We're another Sir H with all bear situation on our hands, aren't we?
Possibly. We'll see how long the Great Bow Archers can run for. I will say this, though. If I do face Jacob, I can't chomp them.
That's true.
I actually don't really... I don't, like... That's not the matchup I want. That's actually, I think, not a great matchup for me. We got Betacron and Great Bows and Broodcruts. Oof, I don't want to face that shit. Yeah, I better beat Earthling. That's the bad route for me to fall into. Alrighty. So in terms of Bean versus Macklar, Quayhan's still at 4 life. Yeah, that's fine. That's not an issue.
Bean is shooting. It looks like Bean was shooting Raylan, which I like. Oh yeah, you can't shoot Raylan.
No, you gotta finish. You gotta just hope you finish Quayhan.
Yeah.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes left. Yeah, we're still shooting Raylan. Yeah, I don't like this thing either. I mean, does she have? She still has 4 life. No, she still has a 3 life. 3 life. Still,
3 life, but still,
you're not gonna. Yeah, even
she's
if,
a level 2 in Shadow. You're just
yeah.
It's just not going to work out for you. And Kuei Han's just primed to light up 3 micros here.
Yep.
Also, you have a beautiful entangle setup, like just naturally, right? You can just move other spiders, do other stuff.
Yep.
And you just get the roll.
Yeah. In terms of entangling, I generally don't try to go for it when I'm playing Clayhound Spiders. Like, I mostly prioritize just other stuff. But, I mean, if it's already set up, sweet.
Yeah, you can use 2 other spiders and still take that 1 attack if you want, right?
Yeah.
But realistically, you can just tie up other stuff and then still roll that entangle. So it's pretty strong. The Dunedain match, Dunedain has successfully taken that grass, and I think Dutch needs to get out of there probably with Burn.
Yeah, that's not a great spot to be in.
I mean, he's got Shadow at least, so it's not the end of the world. You got 6 defense. So it looks like Krognak picked off the chaser that was above Burn, which lets a heavy get up there. So that's the huge value of having the 2-die range ping, right? It's just like you can clear a spot.
Mm. Was that chaser? Could Raylan have seen that chaser, or was it out of the aura?
I don't know. It looks like they treated it as out of the aura because he only rolled 3 defense dice.
Okay. It probably depends on which sculpt it was. I don't know which sculpt it was. Sure. Some of the one with the sword sticking out should have been visible, but the like the guy with the club sticking straight up is just not. You are getting some hate from Rai Guy in the chat. I gotta pass it on.
I am?
You are.
Oh.
Although I feel like I'm also getting some hate there too, like some implicit hate. Like, you know, I should rename my channel to some other streamer.
Multiple chats. He's hitting me in multiple chats.
Well, it's the same. Yeah. We got a lot of you know. I appreciate the feedback, Ryan. Thank you. I'll make sure to pass it on.
Stop. The world moves quickly, Ryan. You got to commit, and then you got to stick with it. You know, you didn't say anything, and then you get offended when you didn't say you were free. So here we are.
So Alburn stayed where he was and chomped again. And I mean, I'm sure Death Chaser's gonna fill that spot.
Yeah. This looks pretty heavy favorite now.
There's a lot of Death Chasers that are... The problem here is there's a lot of Death Chasers that are 2 moves away from getting into the action. So, like, there's only about 4 more Death Chasers that can attack without developing, and then the rest of these are going to end up having to be double moves.
I think Dutch just played this too aggressively. I don't think you want to engage at that level 4. It's within Nearach's aura, right? You want to force Nearach to move again.
I mean, like, part of the reason I asked if that one Chaser was in the aura or not is, like, if you lose a Death Chaser outside the Raylan aura in this matchup, you probably made a mistake. They should just 100% be in the Raylan aura. Which again, though, this is part of why I didn't like that Raylan spot. Like, the battle is now naturally happening closer to Dagmar where it should, but Raylan's in the wrong spot to cover all that. A better Raylan spot would be naturally covering all of this, and also covering the other grass 3-hex height. Like, even if we opened up that spot, if a Death Chaser goes there, it's going to die right away. It's just got 2 defense, 3 with height, I suppose. But Raylan just can't cover enough of this. Whereas Narrak is completely protected and can cover everything.
Correct. Yep. It's a Death Chaser trap, though, right? Like, the trap with Death Chasers is that you get so many guys up quickly that it's very easy to just say, okay, I'm just going to engage now. And it's like, no, there's
some matchups where that's more beneficial than others, but if you're just running at a pure bonding melee, like, no.
Sure, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. But into the melee mirror match, if one player slow rolls and the other doesn't, usually the slow rolling player wins.
Right. Like, when I'm playing one of these armies in a bonding melee context, like, I'm playing heavies in this event, and if I'm playing into something with a lot of range, I have to make hard decisions between development and attacking or catching stuff. But when I'm playing pure bonding melee, like for me, it's freeing. Like I don't have to make that decision. I'm just free to max slow roll, and it's great. Like it should be a freeing thing. Like you don't have to make the hard decision. You just do it. You just do the easy thing.
And this to me is pretty much like auto lose here. Like now we're engaging with 3 outside of Aura, including 1 adjacent to Grimnak who previously wasn't doing anything.
I don't even think this heavy they're attacking. You don't even want to kill it. Grimnak is going to take that spot. Well, maybe not. Maybe you don't want to. You may not want to expose Grimnak to the heighted shot. So maybe not.
No. What I would have liked to do with Grimnak actually is I would have liked to see Dunedain move the heavy Garrote that's next to the tree away so that you're supporting the back half of that level 2 grass.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
That's to me the perfect spot because Adelbert has to. Now you're saying Adelbert, if you want to chomp the heavy that's above Grimnak, you're leaving Raylan and Shadow.
Yep, I agree with that. It's going to be tough to pull off that positioning now because you're going to have to abandon that spot. Like because the Grimnak goes before the heavies, you have to leave the spot open for a turn and hope a Death Chaser can't get in there.
And we sort of saw a similar thing last night with Hush That Fuss. Like you just have to be very careful about where you place your squad figures and be cognizant of where you're planning on putting your hero, right? Is that if you're blocking the spots where your heroes want to go, then you got to get those squaddies out of the way.
Some updates on the other games here. We have SRD versus Loki is over. So, the Death Chaser's finished running through everything. So SRD takes that one down. Congrats, SRD. And in the Bean versus MTSP game, Bean did finally get MTSP's Raylan. So that's something.
Still has 6 micros left.
Wow. Quaihan must have been rolling like terrible in that one. That's quite poor dice.
Yeah, that seems unusual.
Well, we're down to just 2 games, so we've got those 2 up now.
Well, should be firing in what, like 5 minutes?
No, it was 9:30. Yeah, this was the longer gap. Probably it should. My guess is it'll be starting up closer to when the heavies versus Death Chasers is done. We'll see if there ends up being a gap there or not. But yeah, I think the heavies
versus Chasers might end up being done first. We'll see.
It's true. Who won initiative? I want to check that. See who won initiatives. This is the 2 on heavies. So heavies lost initiative this round. That's even better.
Correct.
Yeah, like they're gonna get heavies are gonna get Dagmar. Yeah, you're just gonna grab Dagmar, and then I would wait. So I would wait to pivot Grimnak to that spot we were talking about until Order Marker 3, because then you get to take Dagmar. Like I would do the aggressive Grimnak move on Order Marker 3, because then you get Dagmar to fully cover it and avoid the downside where Grimnak gets attacked from height. Yeah, this is a bad spot. There's 4 dead heavies compared to. I can't see how many chasers did because the way I set this. Actually, I can 4. So they both lost 4 figures. None of the heroes have any wounds. Bernie should just get obliterated off this initiative switch, though.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to kill any Death Chaser that kills a heavy here. So actually, I kind of like that move.
Makes sense. Sense.
You're going to take 1 LEA, but it's worth it to get the hell out of there, because he was going to get crushed by Grimnak boosted Death Chasers. I mean heavies in that spot. Bean is asking a question. Did I miss a wound on Raylan? Oh hell, Bean, I have no idea. If anyone knows for sure about Bean's question, please help out and chime in. Especially if we got any OHS mods going around here. I have absolutely no idea.
Yep.
Okay. Back to this. So we saw. Okay, Macklar did hit a 3 out of 4 lightning breath this turn, which looks like it should have killed or wounded 2 things. I wonder if did we hit Raylan with it? I think we did. I think we did. I don't like that decision at all. We got to just be hitting Max. Yeah, we just gotta be hitting troopers here. Like, hit if that 2 for 4 was on a trooper instead of Raylan, it's just so much better. So Adelburn in Dutch versus Dundane, Adelburn got that one chomp that was guaranteed, and now we're
Did they miss LEA?
uh
Marker 3. Because now they're attacking with the.
yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
right. They did.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna hop out of this voice. Yeah, you can do it, Mike.
Yep.
All right. So we'll get Mike back momentarily. So what happened here is Grimnack, sorry, not Grimnack, Adelburn would have had to take an LEA from one heavy to get up to that height spot. Specifically, the heavy that's on Shadow between Grimnack and the Death Chaser. So, yeah, Adelburn should have taken an LEA roll to get up there. He does not have Disengage. Neither does Grimnack, sadly. Wish Grimnack had Disengage. That would be fun. Okay, yep, there we go. And he does take the wound. So we've got the Disengage rolled. I'm sure Mike will be back. Welcome back, Mike.
Yep, we're all good.
Cool. And he took it. So good thing you caught it.
Yep.
OG asking, did I get Beta his first cheese win? Probably. Probably.
I will say one thing I thought he did well was the spacing of his great bows in his start zone. He did he did set up a pretty solid net where like you had the one that was 7 away from Dagmar, of course, absolutely makes sense. But then by staggering the placement of the others, you were able to better maximize the value of the threat of the 5 dice, right? So I think the starting placements of them were actually quite good.
Agreed. All right, so we have how many micros left? 4. No, still 5. Still 5 micros left. How are there still this many microcore?
I mean, 2v4s are not great, right? So I didn't realize about the hard targets.
Oh yeah, the lack of height. Yeah,
that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no, spiders are just there to engage him. Spiders are just there to tie him up. They're not going to be getting kills, as long as they're inside the aura. But Quahan's lightning breath should be getting kills.
Yeah.
Quahan's still got 4 life too.
Yeah, if you do go for Beans Raylan, the big upside is you do set yourself up for the spiders to actually do something.
True.
So it's not.
If he had more micros, I just we've just been so close to getting Bean below a squad of micros for so long.
Yep. All right, so Dunedain's or marker 3 on heavies here, and
what would I do with Grimnack? I don't know what I would do with Grimnack here. It's not a great.
I would be tempted to move Nirak.
Where to?
Like you're gonna be under height, but level 2, up north a bit, and then quad engage Adelburn. And set yourself up. And Grimnack next turn moves 1 space to be able to then double buff, and now you're chucking just so many dice into Adelburn.
I might rather do that. I might rather do that in the opposite order. Do Grimnack now and then do Narak next, because then you get the Grimnack boost for both turns. It's really
if you're pushing south.
No, if you're pushing north. No, I agree. I'm saying if we were pushing north though, I think I move Grimnack now and with the heavies, and then move Narak on the next turn. Because Narak's only boosting a single heavy from Adelburn, 1 attack over the switch there. I'd rather have 2 more attack dice into Bernie, I think.
You're probably, you might be right.
Just because Grimnack is still covered. If Grimnack wasn't covered, I agree. But the fact that Grimnack is still covered makes me inclined to want to do that. But we are going south instead. I really don't like going south.
I thought a Chaser was going to be able to get even on to level 3 up there and attack, and it looks like if you played it properly, it won it. So
yeah, they're all too far. They're all too far away. The Chasers are just too far away to punish it right now.
Sure. Yep. I agree. Yep.
But this south move I really don't like. Adalbern can chomp the heavy that just took height 4, and then you
Correct.
can get Death Chasers. Like if okay, well now he can't. All right, this helps. At least we blocked it from happening.
Right. You did block it.
But
5, 6.
I mean, if we don't get the Death Chaser on the initiative glyph, though, this is pretty bad.
I guess I don't understand the upside even if we do get it.
Well, there's not much. Like we're being too aggressive here. Now we're stringing out our heavies with the 4 that are back in the start zone for no reason. Like if we had been more cautious with Grimnack here, we could have just brought up the rest of those heavies on this turn.
Yeah. I guess he's just gonna. I guess he. So it looks like he's gonna try to push hard into the chasers, but the problem is those chasers are all within Raylan's aura, and you're leaving your own Nerex aura at this point, right? So I probably would have moved Nerak instead of Grimnack here.
There's some merit to moving Hrognak just somewhere annoying too.
And just pinging, sure.
Yeah, like Hrognak take one of those 3 hex heights, like one of those 3 hex grass heights. Hrognak taking it would have been a pain for Adalbern because he can't chomp Hrognak to just open the spot up. While you do that, take like 1 boosted, do that, and then just develop the guys from the backup, almost, and leave the guy on Dagmar because then you're forcing. Interesting. Dagmar is a mandatory as it happens. I figured that out at a local recently when I wanted to decline it. So you're forcing.
You said it's not mandatory.
No,
right?
it is. It is mandatory. You can't decline it.
Oh, it is. Okay.
The wording just says add 8. It doesn't say you may add 8.
Well,
I thought that.
Okay,
Am I wrong?
Well, Grimnack doesn't say you may chomp, right? He says,
"Oh shit."
Choose it. So in
Lovely.
Heroscape, it's not consistent as to whether something is mandatory or not mandatory. It's clear that something's mandatory if it says may. It's clear that something is not mandatory if it says
must.
may. It's clear it's mandatory if it says must, but it's not always clear
wild.
when it's silent.
Wild. Okay, I am curious then what the ruling on that would be, because
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, if Mike doesn't have the answer off the top of his head, probably nobody does. So we know it's an interesting one.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't. Okay. I would have to look.
Fair. But if we do that max development turn, because the Death Chasers were so far out of position to punish us, like if he's stuck on Dagmar, if he has to use it, then we force him to have a pretty useless Dagmar while we do that, and then we get the chance to get the switch on the following round. Nathan in chat says he thinks Wanik is mandatory, but unsure, but not certain.
Wanik or Dagmar?
Oh, he said, well, Wanik. We were talking about Dagmar, though. That's a good point. I assume the wrong thing got typed because there's no Wanik on any of these maps. I would assume, yeah, Frog. I'm guessing you're talking about Dagmar, but just to confirm.
But we would, like, we know Loden is optional, though.
What's the wording on Loden? Let me look it up.
I don't know.
Let's find out. Glyphs.
You might specifically say it. Yeah, let's see. Heroscape glyphs.
You may add 1 to your die roll. So Loden does say may.
Let's call it out. Gotcha.
I wonder what Wanik says while we're here. Wanik says, roll the D. Wanik just says it as a directive. Wanik you have to roll for. Interestingly, you don't have to assign the wound with Wanik. You have to roll for it, and then if you get a 2 or higher, you may choose a figure to wound. So the only thing that's mandatory is the self-infliction on a 1.
And this is why power should always be written to, like, every single power should be written with may or like,
yes.
must. Right?
Yes, clarification is a good thing.
Yeah, you should never write a power that doesn't include one of those 2 words when it's telling you, like, when something's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, Frog was talking about Dagmar typo. So yeah.
The thing is, Dagmar is worded with like the other glyphs from Rise of the Valkyrie, like +1 attack, +1 defense. But the key distinction there is you always have to roll your attack dice or your defense dice, right? Like that's never not an option.
But you also have to roll for initiative.
You do, but you don't have to like necessarily. Most modifiers you do not have to apply. So it's a pretty big
Okay.
difference between, like, you have to roll all the dice. You're not allowed to, like, roll one less d20 for initiative. You have to roll your maximum number of dice, but modifiers are different than number of dice,
Got
if
it.
that makes sense.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm not saying that it's wrong that Dagmar, like, I'm not saying that Dagmar definitely isn't mandatory, but it's one of those things where it's kind of just not super clear.
I do enjoy the fact that throughout all this discussion, the actual initiative rolls were a 13-1, so it was entirely irrelevant and useless in this game. But it's fun to delve into regardless. It does happen though. So going back to that game, Dutch does win initiative, and takes an LEA with Adalburn to go mash Narak. Does just one wound. I kind of like the spot because we got to chomp a heavy and hit Narak. Doing just one wound though is pretty sad outcome there. Average is gonna be about two. Yeah. Average is gonna be about 2 wounds, and then more is fantastic. Now it looks like. Where was Grimneck? Did he just take a bunch of LEAs to get back there?
He took 2 LEAs. Yep.
Interesting.
I mean, I think it's the right play. I just don't like that Grimneck went there in the first place, right?
Yeah, I probably agree with that. But both sides of it. You need Grimneck to be safe. Like, Grimneck is entirely... Well, he's not safe from Adalburn. But he... I don't know... How many LEA wounds did he take?
1.
Okay. I think my...
2, right?
Okay, my whole chat is lagging. I'm going to refresh the page and try to get it back up, because I don't think I'm seeing it on screen.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so he took 1. He attacked Adalburn.
There we go. Yeah, my chat was... The problem was the chat on my end. I refreshed it, and we should be good on stream now. So Grimneck's at 2 wounds, and Adalburn's getting crunched. One thing I do like about this for Dunedane's perspective, though, is we were now able to develop those heavies and attack with them in the same turn, which is always pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks... Oh, that's a massive block with 2 for 2 there. So a heavy from height hit the Death Chaser outside the aura, and it 2 for 2'd on defense. We do end up putting, it looks like, 3 wounds so far on Adalburn. There should be at least 1 more attack incoming. I think 2 more attacks.
Yeah, 2 more attacks. 2 4v3s.
Yep. Pretty poor roll on the first one. While we wait for those dice, brief check-in on Bean versus Maklar. So Raylan is finally dead. 4 troopers still, but Raylan is dead.
Yep.
And it looks like we have 5 spiders left. No, 7 spiders left. 8 spiders left. Final answer 8. Final answer 8 spiders left. So Adalburn did take that 4th one, and then we have a 2 for... Ooh, Adalburn took 6 wounds. Ew. So yeah, Bernie's dead next turn.
Yep.
I honestly think you have to have Bernie attack Grimneck here and try to one-shot him for those last 3 wounds.
I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, you're attacking Narak, but you're absolutely right. You gotta kill Grimneck.
You gotta kill Grimneck here. You're losing. This is your last chance to kill Grimneck. If you don't kill him this turn, he should be able to keep himself safe behind heavies for the whole rest of the game. In the other game, Maklar just threw a 4 for 4 Lightning Breath to obliterate Microcore. Although, actually, he targeted Laglor instead of the 3rd one. So Laglor took 2 wounds there. So down to 2 micros in Laglor. I mean, certainly...
Not a terrible decision, because, you know, your spiders now can get the micros.
Yeah.
Like, there's no Raylan.
Yeah. Okay. And a spider ties up. Yep, that's a great spot for a spider. You're tying both things up. Probably would just bring up another spider from the back, too, here. Yeah, seems reasonable. Get an extra nibble in on Laglor. I guess an extra 2 nibbles on Laglor. Sure, why not? Interestingly, I actually like not attacking the final micro in the south there, because Quahan next turn can do the chain starting with that micro and then hit Laglor and the far micro. So by leaving that one micro alive, you're keeping the full Quahan, but like you're not using an attack this turn that could be Quahan next turn.
Right. Yep. Makes sense.
In terms of, I mean, Quahan should be able to pull that one, unless Laglor does crazy things with the special attack. That one should be over.
People always tell me that he's capable of that, but I've never seen that, so I don't believe you.
I mean, capable is a theoretical concept.
Yeah.
Dutch back to Dutch versus Doomdane. So what did Grimnack target? I mean, what did I wonder what. So he must have gone for Grimnack because I see 5 defense rolled. So Adelburn did go for Grimnack, but Grimnack blocked it. I like the decision though for it. I think you just have to get Grimnack there.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a high percentage chance, but I think it was about the only shot you had.
Honestly, I would have just left Adelburn in Raylan's aura,
Yeah,
and just
Not
he's just gonna be
Grimnack.
obnoxious for you to kill, even if you can stack Grimnack buffs, etc. Like Adelburn on level 4 within Raylan's aura, I think he was engaged to 1 or 2 heavies. Just take your kills; they're free kills, and you just stay up there with 6 defense dice.
Yeah, I certainly with hindsight, it's hard to disagree with that assessment. This just ended up being a trap.
Isn't willing to disengage with Grimnack.
Sure.
If you think your opponent won't disengage, then there wasn't a huge punish, but I mean here he's in really bad shape.
Skywell says feels like being under prioritized attacking Quahan a bit. Yeah, I mean Mike's been agreeing with that the whole time. Yeah,
that's what Ken always said. Like Ken says he just doesn't care, and like I sometimes care about Raylan, but it's really like, can you kill her quickly enough to where those attacks shouldn't have been going into something else? And if the answer to that is no, then you're just extending the amount of attacks you have to throw into the other thing. It's like 2 extra defense dice is on average not even 1 shield per defense roll, right?
Yep.
Like, yeah, 2 defense is significant, but on average, it's actually not. It's not like all those extra attacks into Raylan just end up costing you. They just do, especially when she's on Shadow and on level 2, etc. So SRD, I don't know if you're watching the stream right now, but you sent us a chat asking. So I don't know if you want us to. You can type in the chat if you're watching, so that way we know whether you want us to address it like on stream here, or if you want us to just like message you later.
Yep, it's a good idea.
Because I presume we're gonna have a little bit of time in a few minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of we're definitely gonna have a little bit of a lull before the Sir H.
Dunedain did not get the kill on Adelburn. Interestingly.
Oh my! Did he? I mean, I see a lot of attacks though. Did he not go for it?
I don't know if he didn't go for it, or I don't know.
Well, either way, that's pretty massive. Adelburn's gonna get another heavy and another chance to kill Grimnack. And at this point, though, Death Chasers can get to. Well, I guess no. They have to take an LEA. It might be. Oh, do you take the LEA to go for Grimnack here with Death Chasers if Adelburn doesn't get it? Or like, let's say Adelburn does like 2 wounds. I'd be pretty tempted to take LEAs with Death Chasers to go hit him.
So Adelburn did 1, put him to 3. You need 2 more wounds. What? I guess it depends what order marker we're on. We're on order marker 3. Dunedain still has another order marker. Yikes!
You're losing.
I'm okay with just killing heavies, honestly, because there are so few of them left.
Yeah, that's fair. This he also did kill the only heavy that could have got to Dagmar, which is really important there.
Yeah, and if you get that kill up, so it looks like you missed that kill swinging up.
Funny, I'm bonding with Narak and taking Dagmar here. I think. I guess I'm not like 1,000% certain of it, but I'm sure as hell tempted to take Dagmar.
I'm taking probably like a solid minute and a half right now. If I'm playing the game to decide which of my champions I'm using because I feel like all three have merit.
Yeah, I know it's true. It's an interesting decision.
That's a hard choice.
I don't love any of the Grimneck options. So attacking Adelburn, like you're probably not going to get the kill off the 2v3. I mean, if you do, sweet. But like if you're going to go for Adelburn, you're better off moving up Narak to take the 3v3 on Adelburn than doing it with Grimneck.
If I'm going with Grimneck, it's because I'm going into the level 2 Shadow.
Yeah, you take the LEA.
Yeah. And trying to trade Grimneck for a few more chasers at the tail end of this game, right?
If I could get a heavy to Dagmar, interestingly, it's
Actually,
almost better to go around the
if
other direction. You have to get the
Grimneck-
chomp and the kill.
Correct. If you get the chomp and the kill, you actually can. If you go to the south of the level 3 grass.
Oh, Narak attacked up. I don't like that. I mean, it worked, but I don't like it.
If anything, I would have taken a Brognac to shoot down. I guess it's the same thing, right? 3v4.
Yeah, but then you get the Rognak development in
But
exchange
I
for it.
I just would have let heavies attack Adelburn. I honestly would have gone for the Grimneck disengage. That's me. Because I feel like if I can get Chomp, even if I miss the attack, the 2v2, I'm still in good shape to capitalize on an initiative switch. But I like my disengages.
There's some. They can be good. They can be worth it. We do get Adelburn. It is chomping a Death Chaser in Raylan's Aura is just so good though. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's hard to pass up on that. Like at the end of the day.
In Raylan's Aura on Shadow. Nice 5 defense. You did it.
So we get no Death Chasers there. Ow. I mean, as good as we thought it was for heavies earlier, if Death Chasers win this initiative, I think they have it.
Yeah, this one's coming down to the wire.
They've got
still very much.
Okay, so SRD is going to hop on stream in a moment here, like into the chat or whatever to follow it if you want to discuss there.
Okay.
So yeah, we can go back and talk about that in a second. Once this, probably after this, the next initiative for heavies versus Death Chasers, because that's going to be absolutely massive. So there's 5 heavies left, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Death Chasers left with no bonding, and Dundane rolls garbage on the initiative. I mean, you can only get 1 Death Chaser to Grimneck without a leave. I think maybe you just go for heavy. I don't know. It's interesting.
I think I'm taking 3 heavy.
It's tough to pass up on it. Okay.
You actually really can't get 3 heavies well.
No, you can't.
You can't without a leave anyways, right?
Yeah, so I might as well pivot that guy. Try to get 2 heavies and then Grimneck.
Or there's merit to taking that one guy that's on level 2 Shadow in the dead center and yeeting him up, taking 1 leave from Grimneck actually onto the level 3 grass.
That's a move. That's a move.
Get a nice 5v4 down.
I mean, if Grimneck had 1 or 2 more life, I think it's more tempting. I'm probably just going to take the Grimneck shot if I go there.
I don't hate to just develop another guy. That's not bad.
Also, like going there and being outside Raylan's Aura, even when you live, is not great.
You're just hoping to trade 1 for 1, right? And it's like that's actually not all station the game trading 1 for 1 because you are up on Death Chasers. That's the rationale for that play.
Yeah,
is to just max and heavies.
I mean, so we went with basically a safer play and just killed 2 heavies, and like it looks pretty good, frankly. Grimneck should take height now.
Both your 4v4 and 4v5 kill, right? You got 2 attacks and they both work. It does look pretty good.
I don't know if I think I might have sent Grimnack up to the level 3 height.
3.
Yeah.
100%.
Because then you can boost both heavy attacks. Now you're only going to be able to boost one heavy attack unless you get this 2v5, which like probably 2v5. Don't. Yeah. And Grimnack on the height at least has now 6 defense. Oh, well, of course. Well, again, I mean, what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? We just get the 2v5. Yeah, we just get it.
I 100% agree with you. I definitely would have just taken the level 3 there for sure.
So at this point,
you have to be careful about your order markers.
Well, you can't lose one yet. Well, I mean, you could if you don't get any kills. If you get both kills, you can't lose an order marker. Okay, so I would take the shadow below Grimnack and then the dungeon the one below that. Because as it happens, neither of the 2 Death Chasers on that side can refill either the 4 hex height or the other 2 hex dungeon that one is on. They're 6 move away from. Oh no, they're on Valda. Never mind. Actually, they're on Valda.
Yep.
Oh, yep. I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. I forgot about Lords of Valda, so he could get there. Okay. I'm
personally still doing this.
Yeah, it's just a little less good than I thought it was. Okay, SRD said he's on stream now, so we can go back and chat about that one in a second. Welcome, SRD. Bear with us as we get there. These 2 games are coming down to it here. So is Mackler over? Yeah, I think Mackler's over. Yep. Okay, they're talking about some stuff. So yeah, congrats to Mackler who pulled that one off. Let me check the bracket again. So Mackler, I think, was in the winners side of things. Yep. So Mackler moves on to face the winner of actually the other game. Mackler will face the winner of Dutch Bandit and Dundane. So that's fun that they end up lining up. And then Bean is going to drop down and play. Where did I have this? Bean is going to play Skywhale, who beat Sheep in that other one. So, yep. That's what that side of it looks like. So that's what those future matchups are. Let me go ahead and close out of that one and just make this guy full screen now, because this is the only game we've got left going on.
So it looks like
clean up some of this graphics.
Chasers just moved there. So we've got what for Chasers left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 2 of them are super out of the action.
So they're gonna get just 1 kill unless they also get the Grimnack kill here. I think you got to go for 2 heavies here instead of Grimnack.
Yeah.
You're very unlikely to get the Grimnack kill. I mean, if you get it, even if you get it, they've still got 2 bonding heroes left. Like the way to kill the squad, the ratios is to kill the heavies here.
Correct. Yep.
So that was the heighted attack. So the other attack has to go into Grimnack now. They could do it.
If you get it, you're still in actually pretty good shape.
That's pretty massive for Dundane. Now you should step down 1 spot and wait, or do you step down 2 spots?
With Grimnack?
Yeah. I want to chomp the guy on max height to refill it with the heavy. But I think you got to go just 1 spot though, because you're not going to be able to refill from there. Yeah, that's it. So you go there. You go there because that way you're guaranteed to be able to refill the max height spot. Interestingly, the Death Chaser in the north, not the one on Loden, can engage Grimnack from here. Unless you block it off, which honestly I'd be tempted to do. I think I might even just put 1 heavy in that. Well, I don't know. I don't want to lose heavies. I might be more okay with losing Grimnack here than losing a heavy. You don't have enough heavies left.
Yep. What I was actually looking at was LEA with Grimnack down onto both hexes of the level 2 dungeon down there, and just chop the one guy on max height and double buff heavies into that chaser. Then you're out of
I like that. I like that better.
North 2, only that one chaser. You're dealing with 3 chasers at that point, right?
Yep.
Pretty much.
And only one can engage. Yeah, and that one can engage, correct. And you've got either 5 defense or 5 defense. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I like that. I like that. And then you chomp that one with Grimneck on the following turn, and you can take Dagmar with the other heavy, probably, to put it in a totally safe spot.
Right, yep.
Yeah, I think I do like that better than what I was thinking and what Dundee ended up going with.
If you're willing to, go to 4 wounds on Grimneck, but
yeah,
at that point you're totally fine doing that, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't make a huge difference. That 1 life, I mean, 2 life is better than 1, but it's not the biggest. Yeah, it's not like you're at 4 life and you die if you miss it. Yeah. Okay, so what was SRD's question here? So it was about the Raylan Perch versus pushing 1 space forward into Shadow Jungle. Well, I think the main thing we talked about on stream, SRD, was more so that we wanted to have gone south instead of north with the pod push. Just to have a little bit better, like, basically, I think both of us felt like it was better to have Raylan in a position to control the middle Shadow and Dagmar than the Lords of Valdeglyph. I don't know, Mike, does that match your memory of the spot?
That does. I didn't dislike your Raylan placement. I thought it made sense. There's arguments to take Shadow, of course, but you're potentially gumming yourself up, and actually Loki could have gummed you up pretty hard with just throwing a green skill into the center of the map up there. That's the thing. This map is quite choky on the north side. It doesn't look like it is until you realize that it's the glyph completely shuts down that entire top lane, and then you just have this 1-2 hex walkway through the center there, and then you're down into the Shadow on the other side of the outcrop, but it's quite hard to maneuver around the outcrop because of the level 4 and the level 3, the way it's set up. You could really get stuffed there. And so I think Raylan, where she was perfectly fine, but that's why I like going more on the southern edge of the map as opposed to trying to go through the north, is that you can get stuffed if your opponent's willing to just throw 1 green scale up as a tether, and then Alburn can't even engage because your own Death Chasers are in the way.
Hopping back into this game briefly, I don't like a decision that just happened. So Dutch Bandit took that Death Chasers that could have engaged Grimnack in the last heavy and went for Herognack instead.
Yeah, I have to, either he miscounted it, or maybe he miscounted it, maybe it's intentional. But yeah, absolutely, I'm taking both attacks into the heavies here.
Yeah, if you get the heavies, you burn the Order Marker 3, and
he's going for Grimnack. Okay, but he's gonna leave him then with Order Marker 3.
Oh, and Grimnack just tanks that shit.
Yep.
Well, now I think the heavies are back in favorite spot after that. Having 2 heavies here, you can get. So the heavies can now grab Dagmar. Interestingly, if I have Grimnack, I'm taking the LEA with Grimnack here. He does kill Herognack in 1 shot. I think I take the LEA with Grimnack, chomp one of them, and attack the other one. Maybe that's too aggressive?
Ooh, I definitely am taking a chomp. I don't think it's too aggressive at all, because then you're also buffing yourself for heavy to swing down at that right where Nirak was.
Right, yeah, exactly. Right now, exactly, right? Yeah, because you chomp the other one. Yeah, you chomp the other one, and then you get that attack with the other heavy taking Dagmar, probably.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense.
I would take Dagmar. I don't like going for both Death Chasers here, though. I really want Dagmar in this spot.
I think the other version of Grimnack disengaging is better if you want to attack that other heavy. And weirdly, as weird as it seems, you're not getting a buff there. If you want to go for double right here, I want to max my dice on the other 2.
Agreed.
And not rely on what happened. But it's going to work out.
It is going to work out.
The thing is, Raylan is actually not completely out of it.
Well, heavies, I mean, the problem is you should be able to keep her from burning the heavy order markers.
You should, but
on the flip side, though, I'm not. I'm not coming in to attack Raylan here. I'm backing up and I'm putting Grimneck up on that max 4 height and bringing the heavies up next to them where they're all together. I'm making Raylan come to me. I'm up on points.
Yes, agreed. Yep. And you make her go for an initiative switch play to have any hope.
Yep.
But if you want initiative here, I think you just go and whack Nerek probably. And say, do you really want to engage me? You go to the back side of the level 4 and you just swing down 4v3 and say, do you really want to engage me there?
Yeah.
You probably don't. You potentially leave there with Nerek because you don't want to be engaged up there, right? And so it's like sort of a free attack.
Yeah.
And those are like,
because the heavies want the heavies want to just back up and cluster regardless of what you do.
Those are the edges.
Now, see, this is I strongly dislike this. Watch and roll an 18.
That's one way to simplify the game. And so we'll get back to your question in a minute. Let's just finish up this game because it's
very close. This should be very, very, very close.
Yeah, and then we can talk about really any of these games afterwards. But yeah, we'll talk about SRDs.
Yep. But no, yeah, I mean, I like strongly. What do you think the win rate loss is by doing this with Grimneck instead of going up to max height? It's got to be like 20%, 10, 20%. It feels massive to me.
It's probably more, especially because you're single engaging with a heavy now.
Yeah.
Because the only way Raylan wins in the other position is she goes for an initiative switch plays and
kill one heavy, make the order markers impossible going into the next round, get the initiative switch, and then burn order markers.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the.
But now she just chills where she is and attacks that heavy. Now she can just attack because Grimneck. Yeah. Now we just try to kill this heavy.
And that heavy doesn't have
it's not in there.
Right? So
This is bad. I mean, it's still got 5 defense, but like the other way feels like just a near guarantee, and this is just a giving. Well, it works out, but like it makes me afraid for looking at a heavy game state that should have just been a win. At this point, I'm bringing up Nerek for sure. You got it. Like once you've gone, once you've gone in.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
Yeah. Nerek should move up to the level 3. Down next to Raylan.
Take the attack 3v4 and say, if you want to attack Nerek, okay, that's fine.
And you can develop the other heavy to where he can get up to the level 4 to take the even ground into Raylan on order marker 3. Yep. Which, like, once you've gone in, you've just got to commit to it at this point. I don't like having gone in, but now that we're there, we just got to commit to it and try to outdice Raylan.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah, you got to get Nerek in there. Just got to get... This chomp is not worth it.
Yeah, because you're realistically, you're going to have that chomp later. Yeah. Like, that chomp isn't going anywhere.
And the Nerek attack of 3 is better than the Grimneck attack of 2 anyways. So, like... It's not even you're not even gaining the full chomp value. You're gaining like a little less than the chomp value. Plus, I mean,
and I don't like that heavy didn't move on order marker 1. There wasn't really any reason not to move him.
Yeah, you can't lose the order markers yet. You can always back up. Like if you lose the other heavy, you can always choose to then back that guy up later.
Exactly. You just walk back.
Yep.
You're fine.
Yeah, you step forward and you give yourself both options. But we put 3 wounds on Raylan and it's probably over. Actually, Grimneck should have Nerek there. It didn't matter. He blocked it anyways, but he would have had Nerek. Nerek can 1000% see his tail and spear sticking out around that rock outcrop. I mean, yeah, now we definitely do this. But now everything's in Nerek. I mean, the heavy should still have it. So if I'm Raylan here, I'm attacking that heavy grit though.
Yeah, I didn't like the attack on Grimneck there.
I mean, it's probably not going to matter. This is probably going to end it. Yeah, GG's. GG's. Congrats to Dundane. I mean, quibbles with the end game, but well played regardless. Repping those heavy gruts. So Dundane, let's see, going back to the full bracket here. So Dundane, I think had won round 1, right? Yeah, so Dundane is moving on to play Maklar. So, yep, those two games feed into each other. So we have Maklar and Dundane who are going to play in round 4. So if you're watching this, they get to skip round 3 because of the way that the double elimination bracket is set up. So they are going to play on Arboretum. And then, yeah, we're going to get... Wait, Maklar had Death Chasers too, right? That was the... No, Maklar has Quahan. So that's going to be, Quahan versus... Quahan Greenies versus Heavies. Heavies. Sweet.
No, Maclar has spiders.
Oh, that was the Spiders build. Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I copied. Was thinking about the wrong one then. Yeah, so Spiders. That's better. That's definitely the better version of it though. And if you have to face heavies, I'd rather have those extra bodies. Much better to lose a spider to chomp than a green scale to chomp.
So I still think I still kind of think I'm right on that. On that map, I would rather have the Chasers build. I think if it's played differently, the Chasers are favored on that map in that matchup. I don't think broadly speaking it's necessarily true, but I really don't like that map for Grimnack. I just don't think he has good positions, and I think you saw that whole game where Grimnack really didn't do much.
Yeah, every time he had a chance for the biggest upside chomp, he had to put himself at really severe risk to take it.
And that's the problem with all those little isolated pockets of height that are all like one distance away from each other, is you just get into really awkward positions with Grimnack if your opponent isn't just like, letting you go onto the level 3 2-hex perch with Grimnack and then just like double engaging, right? Which is like, if your opponent's doing that, you're winning anyways. So assuming your opponent's not doing that, it's really hard to get a ton of Grimnack, a ton of value out of Grimnack on that type of map.
So I went ahead and pulled back up. Yeah, I went ahead and pulled back up the Loki versus SRD game because we do have a few minutes.
Yep.
You want to chat about that one? Yep. So that one's back up on stream for anyone who's following along, so we can talk about hexes and point to it.
And just as a reminder, we do have another game starting up in 15 minutes. So
yep,
for anybody that's not aware,
that is going to be the Sir Heroscape versus Hush That Fuss game, which is 4th Mass versus Quahan Greenies Mara Warriors. So that is the nightcap coming up in a bit. Back to SRD Loki. So I think the Raylan spot that we're seeing on stream is the same one that she was at the whole game. The 2-hex dungeon next to the shadow. No, sorry. Yeah, next to the between the shadow and the bush. One thing I will say about that, I felt like SRD was able to do a very good job of denying Quahan breaths back into the pod the whole game, which is definitely a big plus when playing Quahan like that. Like the fact that Raylan was safe the whole game is a good outcome for sure.
Yes.
For the SRD side of that.
But a lot of that had to do with how Loki approached it, right?
Correct. Yeah. Like Loki could have stayed more back and then forced the double move, or come in more aggressively with a Raylan move and then had Quahan further up hitting that pod. Either version of which would have made this Raylan placement a bit worse, because it would have ended up having to do said double moving. I mean, with the way that Loki played into it, I think this Raylan placement ended up being pretty ideal, actually. But I could see either of those alternate universes making some other options for developing seem better.
All right, looks like I think he might be listening back to the earlier in the thing, because he said, interesting you would have preferred to go south. Agreed, the way you lose matchup is a nit switch where Gwent lights up Raylan twice. Yeah, I mean that's really the thing, is like Dagmar is so strong that just you're really sort of seeding it. You can threaten with a chaser where you can hope to clear your opponent off of it. Or you can just preemptively jump on it to deny, which isn't, it's worth doing to chuck a chaser down there to deny your opponent from getting it at that point. But you are just losing a chaser, right? You're just saying this chaser is going to die to a green scale to reduce the chance that you get this initiative switch play by like 32%, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not ideal. Because again, you're still not denying the initiative switch play, you're just making it less likely.
Yep, agreed. And just like having more Death Chasers on, Like if Quaihan does play it super aggressively, I just want to have all those Death Chasers on Shadow in the middle. Like one more defense. Yay. Yeah. Um, I'm curious if you're Loki as played, would you have backed up more? Like in hindsight of this game, do you think it would have been better to do the like stay further back or the move Raylan and be more aggressive into the pod?
Well, I think either can work. I, yeah, either can work, right? Because you either have to there's an argument to go for the aggressive version because SRD chose the north route, and I say that because you can gum it up so easily, right?
Yeah.
That north route is so congested that you really only need a couple chasers up there to build. Sorry, not chasers, a couple green scales up there to build a really strong defensive position. Quan doesn't even need to go on the level 4 up there. Quan can be supporting green scales that are up on that level 4.
Yeah.
And you can build a 2D wall up there to where Adelburn can't just chomp one thing. And I think that's a big thing is that like when you're playing against something like Grimnack or Adelburn, one of the best things you can do is build a 2 deep wall where it's not just Adelburn chomps one thing and then a chaser is through. Instead, you force them to go for it on an initiative switch play where they have to get it and get through 2 lines of defense to get at your king figure, or in this case, your queen figure, right? So that's a really and you just don't need that many green scales to do it up there because it's so congested.
Yeah, agreed. I think all that makes sense to me. I think it's honestly worth it to just have Order Marker 1 on. So if I'm playing Loki's army, I think it's worth it to have Order Marker 1 on Raylan, regardless of what you intend to do. Watch what the Death Chasers do and where they battle rush to, and then make that decision. Like, you're not losing much. They don't have any range. It's not like you're going to get pinged by losing an Order Marker. Like, maybe you op it, and maybe you move Raylan back to the back of the start zone, depending on what they do. But, like, you just leave yourself those options. And then if you see them do what they did, then you can do that aggressive move. Maybe you move Raylan 2 or 3 spots forward, and then plan to rush. That's the height on that side, knowing that you're going to either be able to beat the Death Chasers there or force them to thin themselves out a bit more than they want to in the process of contesting it. Either outcome is pretty good for you.
Yeah, and I think that's a key thing to note is that like when we say aggressive here, we're not talking Raylan 6 spaces, right? We're talking like 2 to 3 spaces, which gives you so like for example, where that Death Chaser is right now on level 2. I can't manipulate the figures.
I can't either, but I can draw a pin. I have the ability to draw on screen. Let me try to do this. So I'm gonna this spot right here on stream is what we're talking about, right next to the bush here, where that Death Chaser is. The thing I just marked in pink. So if Raylan is there, let me Raylan is there, then she can cover through there and then all the way through there. Like you've got Raylan coverage on this entire area of the board here, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it lets you build a really strong green scale wall, and that's really what you're looking to do is figure out where can I place Raylan that's going to build a great radius for my figures. And I think like pre-game, these are all things you can be considering is like you can evaluate your especially when you have prep time in OHS where you don't have that prep time in a live tournament setting, you can really like figure out ahead of time exactly where like you can have contingencies in place. You can say, okay, if SRD plays it this way, I can have Raylan go here, and that's going to be covering these spaces, so I can set up my start zone in a way that facilitates that game plan. And it also hedges, though, in case SRD does this other plan, in which case Raylan goes here and is covering this part of the map, right? So you can build these contingencies in place and then just execute them. And it's a little hard to do that perfectly in real time. That's where you're just doing the best you can, and you're really evaluating, making sure that like, okay, Raylan can get everywhere she wants to get to, and Quayon can get everywhere where she wants to get to, and then the green scales just fill up, and you're not quite as concerned as like every single green scale being in exactly the perfect place. But you figure out those key figures and those key radiuses. Like, there's even an argument that Raylan goes like, you're under height, you're under 1 hex of height, but if you go up 1 space further than that, actually, you're also covering the level like that 2 gap in the dead center, and there's like realistically you probably don't want to cover those spaces, but it can be an annoying thing where you throw exactly 1 green scale into that gap from time to time to just completely gum up your opponent.
I think if I'm playing a melee army that doesn't have auto kills, I like that a lot better. I don't like having Raylan next to height when they have an auto kill to remove the greenie that's there and then get the Death Chaser down with the potential of an initiative switch. Like that's just so many dice into Raylan that I'd rather avoid. But like let's say that we're playing like against knights or something like that, then I think that slightly more aggressive Raylan movement is a lot better. Because if they're going to have to, if it's going to be harder for them to eat through all of your green scales to get to that spot, you're more okay with Raylan being in a riskier spot if they're not going to get to her until the late game anyways. The times I'd be more cautious about putting Raylan in that spot next to height is when you're facing Adelburn or Grimnack, where they can just chomp the damn thing.
Yeah, you have to really be committing to building like a 2 to 3 deep wall at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like you're really committing to like the wall plan. Like you're potentially even putting Quahan, like
as part of the wall.
If you can set it up properly, where you're really, really protecting it.
Yeah.
But that's the problem against chasers is if you start trying to set up too aggressive of a position, they can disrupt it because they have gotten that jump on the battlefield. So that's why my personal approach here would have been that back, like not that it's back, but that space that we identified at the beginning of this discussion, that's 2 out of the start zone, like as to me sort of the best outside wall you can build.
Yep. Well, hope that was helpful. Hope that answered some. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You got something else?
No, I mean, and then I guess we can consider like what does it look like if you try to like drop back and play it more defensively. I think that looks like you're dropping to the south side of the board, right?
Yeah, I would want to be down there where I have the ability to potentially chain into the guy on Dagmar, because you're going to be seeding Dagmar if you're doing that. Like I may even have Raylan all the way. Oops, let me get my pen working back here again. I may even have Raylan like all the way bottom corner of the start zone, in like the most protected possible spot. Because then you can put Quahan sort of at the front of the start zone there, and then you can get greenies on level 1 in front of Quahan that aren't next to height, which is something. I don't know if I love this though. I think that you just let them have the entire board before they come in, looking at what this is going to be.
Yeah, no, I think that's too conservative.
I think you can test the height. Like having considered all these options here, I think I like pushing up Raylan. Now, if they go for the south side, like I would have done with the Death Chasers, then you end up needing to move Raylan somewhere further south than where I put her. Maybe even on the level 3 grass.
The scary thing about that is if Chasers win initiative, or even if they don't, even if they lose initiative, they're potentially engaged with her immediately.
Well, he's going to have the 1 on Raylan. I think SRD is going to have the order marker 1 on Raylan a lot. I think I'm willing to risk that.
Is if Chasers max rush the 5 spaces,
yeah,
it's 10 to get engaged to that level 3.
Sure. So yeah, depending on what yeah, it's fair. That's fair. Maybe you have to go back 1 spot then, and then just put greenies up there.
Yeah, I don't think you can push that far with Raylan.
Okay. Yeah, it's fair. It's where I want her to be, but they may not be able to get her there safely.
I agree. If we can get her there safely, I'm in.
Seems okay. Cool.
I'm not sure where she goes, and this is going back to the south side of the map. Then it's like, where do you put her? Like, do you put her next to the tree 2 spaces back from that, right? Like on the level 2, and you just say, okay, I guess I'll try to.
I think I just go back 1 space. I think if I'm going to go south right there, I have to be able to cover a greenie taking the 4 hex grass height in the later portion of the game.
Right. Sure.
I think it's worth Raylan being next. Like, I think if we're going south, it becomes worth it to have Raylan next to height to be able to cover. Like, that spot is just so much better than the 3 height in the north that we were talking about was.
Right. Yep. I agree.
Especially if you get Adelburn. Like, if you get to the late game and Adelburn's dead and you're dealing with, like, 2 squads of Death Chasers left, like, being able to put a Raylan-backed greenie on that spot is just going to become godly.
Right. And the nice thing with there, too, is, you're right that you're covering that center of the map then, and then if Quayon ends up taking that level 3 grass, she's also supporting that center of the map, right? So those green scales on that level 2 shadow, level 4 grass, level 3 dungeon are all going to be rolling 6 defense dice, which is extremely strong. Actually, not the level 3 dungeon. He's only 5, but the other 2 are getting 6, which is still completely, again, gumming up that center. So yeah, this is what I do with Raylan and stuff. Is basically, we just you just try to evaluate, like, can I build a strong position somewhere, and how does that play into my opponent's different plays? And then as the opponent, like, if your opponent's trying to set this up, you maybe throw a Death Chaser out of Aura to disrupt, right? Where you just say, okay, I'm gonna gum up your plans, not let you do it, and try to counter appropriately. And if they're playing it super passively, you got Dagmar to try to force through plays. And then I again, SRD did make good decisions on limiting the chains, right? Which is always extremely important in this type of matchup. You can't just give free chains.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That part, like, that was probably the best played part of the game from watching it there, was like the manipulation of giving Quaihan the least possible good attacks throughout it.
Right.
That's a key lesson to take away if you're going to be running into Quaihan. Like, make her sometimes throw 3 for 4 and 4 for 4 and have it just hit one Death Chaser. All right, I'm going to switch up what's on stream now for the next game because it's coming up soon, and we can probably preview that one a little bit. So we've got in this one Infinite Fourth Mass with New Drake playing Quaihan and 3 green scales and Morrow Warriors. I feel like the biggest question here is, like, do you lead Morrows and do you lead Drake?
All right, let's start with the simpler one. Do you lead Drake? And I think the answer to that is no.
I might put 1 order marker on him.
Just to stage him up?
Yeah, somewhere. Just a little bit. Maybe even... I like getting him up far enough to where he can reach the level 4s in 1 more move. Potentially.
What are you going to do, though? Are you hoping that you can get Raylan at that point?
Possibly Raylan, possibly hit Quaihan later on. Or at least, like, force... Like, make it more painful for Quaihan to come in near your 4th mass by having the threat of Drake doing something.
I think I'm starting him just at the front of the start zone, but then not moving him. I think I'm starting him at the bottom, like, of the center. So you have the, like, top, middle, center starting zones. I'm starting him at the bottom left of the middle start zone. That way you can get onto level 4 rock. You can get onto either side of the level 3 grass. You have the grabs from there as well, which cover quite a lot. I think that's what I'm doing because I don't want to give up order markers on the 4th mass.
That's fair. I see that. I mean, it achieves a lot of what I was going for without losing a 4th mass order marker, which that's a pretty good trade-off, probably. Rearranging.
I don't hate the stage. I don't hate the stage and thread, right? That's something I do a lot. But the thing is, the armies where I do it, usually my normal order marker spot isn't 4 attacks of 4 at range, or 4 attacks of 2 to 3 at range, right? Sometimes 4, but oftentimes 2 to 3. That to me is quite hard to give up.
Mm-hmm. Boromir's in chat talking about hating leading Drake generally, but also being afraid of him into Morrow Warriors endgame. I mean, it's bad. If you get stuck with it, it's definitely bad. Just suiciding him into Raylan has some merit too.
If your opponent lets you do it, which means that they are just moving up Raylan despite the fact that you have 3 order markers on Drake. I don't know. To me, that feels like your opponent has to opt into it.
People seem to opt into things a lot in Heroscape games, though, from what I see.
Man, I wish I was playing against the people you're playing against. They have some merit because you do have the grab, right? You can always get lucky, but I just hate relying on that grab. I know it's like 9+ or something, so technically, it's what, 60% chance.
60.
Or whatever, but it's just like, I mean, 40% of the time you just do nothing.
No, I agree with that. Those 60 to like 75% rolls where like you get screwed still so much, it's rough to rely on.
Yeah.
That's like part of my problem with Master of the Hunt, frankly. Like, you got to be able to, you could roll for. If you could roll for the javelin. Had to take the shot. No,
actually, I was wrong. We do want to hinge everything on these 1 rolls.
hitting the javelin and then hitting Q9 with the 4 for 5 and then just putting 3 wounds on him and finishing him off. It's when it works out. When it works out, it looks great.
We don't talk about javelin. That power is cursed. I don't think I've ever hit javelin in like 20 rolls. It's bizarre.
It's a badly done power.
Yeah. Like even like you can. The thing with javelin is a lot of times you can hedge where you like, oh, I have this one figure in range, but I can instead hit this other one if I hit the javelin. But then you just don't hit the javelin anyways. It's like, okay, I'm just taking the one at 4 range. Like, okay, that's what we're doing.
There was one end game I got into with Master of the Hunt where it was useful, where had Master of the, I don't even remember what it was facing, but it was some melee figure, and basically I kept kiting at 7 range and then rolling for javelin until I hit it. Which,
yep.
I mean, in that case, you have infinite tries to try to hit the stupid thing. So eventually you're gonna get it. But yeah, little bit of Master of the. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Master of the Hunt, but in Delta, when I'm paying 100 points for him and Q9 costs 260, I much prefer taking that shot.
All right, so then Mara Warriors. I like leaving them to end game because I think they're going to be good into literally anything in the end game.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, if they face Drake, you just win. If they face us 5 4th Mast, you probably win. Right. I also like playing Quaihan aggressive. I like playing this aggressively into 4th Mast. I think you want to get Raylan back to Quaihan up there fast and just throw as many Lightning Breath special attacks into that pod as you can.
I agree. That's exactly what I was about to get into. Was that I think you kind of lose if you go Mara Warriors opening and then they don't do anything and they die and then you're getting shot and an initiative switch happens and now you're getting Wait Then Fired in your start zone, right? Like that's just like auto lose. So there's just too much downside risk to me.
So in terms of playing the Quaihan build, I do like Quaihan. I think I'm moving Raylan 6 spaces with my first move. And then Quaihan is going to the level 3 grass, and then the other level 3 grass, and hitting the start zone on order marker 3, while Green Scales try to grab Dagmar. If you push Raylan the full 6 moves into the lower shadow spot, then you can cover the greenie on Dagmar too, as well as greenies on all shadow spots in the entire middle of the board, and all of the heighted spots if you can see line of sight to them, which is probably all but one of the 4 hex rock that's the most hidden.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Although you can see Quaihan if Quaihan goes to that spot, which she may want to do later in the game as well. So that's my approach if I'm playing the greenies here. Raylan to that order marker 1 Raylan there, and then Quaihan and get her in there shooting Lightning Breath. Like Lightning Breath into 4th Mass kills them really fast. 4v, it's a single, unless you roll 1 for 4 or worse, you just get them. It's great.
Yep.
And like if you can trade, so he's got to sit 1/4. So like if you can trade Quaihan and greenies for what, 14 4th, you're like probably fine with Mara Warriors in the late game.
That would be 5 left.
Yeah, 5 left and Drake.
Is it sit 1? Is armor sit 1?
Yeah, 20 figure limit with 20 and Drake.
Okay, so it is a 20.
Yeah, it's 20. It's 20 limit.
Okay,
yeah. Yeah, the 20 limit actually I think had a huge impact on this meta. Like I would have run heavies with Morrow if it was 24. Like Herognak isn't in my build. Herognak isn't in there because I think Herognak's better than Morrow Warriors. Herognak's in.
No, I remember discussing that. Yeah, I remember discussing that now. You're right.
It also made Knights a lot worse, I think, because you can't do the 5x.
5x.
Yeah, you could, because without it, you could do. I think you could have done 5 Gilbert and Morrow, sit 1 Knight, which is like pretty sweet.
Yep, that's very good.
Yeah, in terms of playing the 4th then into this, if I win initiative, I might move up a squad of 4th to be able to Wait Then Fire that Raylan spot that I want to put Raylan on the following order marker to then make it a little bit harder. Like, you want to put Raylan there, I'm going to get 3 shots of I'm gonna get 4 shots of 3v4 on her immediately with the chance to just put like 3 to 4 wounds on her.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you doing on Order
Because
Marker 1, right?
you can do it in a way that they're all out of Quahan's threat range on Order Marker 2. So like you're then gonna get double weight then fire into Raylan with just risking a single squad of 4th mass to do so. And that seems very worth it.
Even if you don't intentionally try to do that on this map, it's going to happen unless you're going down onto level 1 because of just the way the math works on the like 5 space moves of the 4th mass moving up onto level 2 versus the 5 move and 4 range of Quaihan. So it's actually one of those things where it's like even if you don't intend for it to happen, like you ever have that happen where you make like a beautiful play and you weren't even intending to do it?
Oh yeah. That's when you record your comment. That's when you record your commentary after the fact and you say planned.
Yep. Everybody's had that happen to them, right? It's nothing to be ashamed of course. But it's one of those things where on this map, this is like a perfect opportunity for that to happen. Where it's just like, oh, they look like a genius, but were they actually consider that? We'll never know, you know. 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 7, 5, 12, and 7 in the middle, 19. Okay, good. And then Drake. So I don't like not giving a Drake a spot, though. I do think there's value in having Drake at the front of the start zone.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely convinced me of like.
Oh,
yeah, he did. There you go. Hi, Sir H. Kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Kidding.
I do hope nobody's stream sniping. Like, I would hope nobody's listening to chat that's playing.
I would hope so as well. I like to assume that it's not happening in Heroscape.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd already said it anyways about 1,000 times. Not that it made a huge difference there. I actually think that's just like a relic of like different people tend to place their figures in OHS different ways. Like I usually place the heroes first and then fill in the squaddies around them. I also see a lot of people like just place out the squaddies and then move a couple to fit the heroes where they wanted them to be after the fact. Just like having watched a lot of OHS games, I've definitely seen like a bunch of both methods for dropping those figures out there.
Interesting. I'm definitely like, where are my key figures going? And then the rabble goes around them.
Yeah. No, yeah, I do the same. I definitely do the same. Although sometimes with OHS, if I'm playing against someone who I'm like worried about giving off the tells to, I have to like plan it out in my head and then put them like in order, like top to bottom or something stupid. Because sometimes putting a hero in a certain spot telegraphs exactly where I'm going to move them to in round 1. I've definitely been in that spot where like I'm worried about the reverse mind games. Wait, did the game start? Oh, my chat was the chat box was lagging.
Yep.
Okay, so we do have a pure Drake. We have a pure Drake open. And my chat is still screwed up.
I mean, Raylan better not move up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I mean, all of those things we talked about with moving Raylan, ignore that. Do not move Raylan 6 spaces max forward here next to height where Drake can obliterate her. Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a no-op Raylan turn. And, like, frankly, I'm fine with this. Like, you just no-op her, leave her where she is. Drake can't get to her yet. No, it's not even on Raylan. Do you send Quaihan? No, you don't. She can't get the attack off anyways. I would develop Quaihan, but not fully forward. I would just go up to, like, the level 2 somewhere with green scales into the middle. Like, at this point, I want to have the threat to kill Drake across the initiative switch. He can't prevent us from grabbing Dagmar and killing him across that switch unless he backs up and just wastes the entirety of round 1.
He could just go on there.
Sure, he could. He could do that. He could do... Yes, that's true. He could sacrifice himself to prevent us from getting Dagmar ourselves.
Yep. It sounds heroic. Sounds like something he might do.
Oh, true. So I really hate giving Drake a shot at Quaihan here. Why are we doing this? Maybe we're going to block it. I hope we're going to block it.
2, 3. The thing is that green scale, if you want to block it, is out of Raylan's aura.
Yeah, there's just no reason to be this aggressive at all. Force Drake to come in closer. Like, don't give Drake an attack. Don't give Drake an attack this
If you
turn.
if you block, you potentially just kill Drake though.
Yeah, just do it off the initiative switch anyways. Like, wait a turn and don't take the risk.
I agree. I agree. I agree. But yeah,
Yeah, whenever you can accomplish the same thing with less risk, good moves. Alrighty, those haven't happened yet. Just looking back at the bracket. She's in there. His review was Loki619. Filling out my bracket here while this is going on. All my incorrect picks.
finishing mine just because it was too much work to like. I got through like the round ones and I was like, crap, I don't remember what anybody's armies are. Like that's too much work to look back through all of them again to figure out who was playing what for round two, etc. matchups.
It's quite a bit of work. Like I think it's easier to do if it's single elimination too, because it's just like once you get like a couple things wrong in losers, it just like transcends the entire rest of the bracket.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so we didn't block it, and Drake comes in and hits Quaihan, who rolls too much defense and is going to have to re-roll that and potentially take wounds. Oh no! Well, this all right, this is hurting my soul a little bit. Giving Drake that attack on Quaihan is just a why. If Quaihan re-rolls and rolls like 0 for 5 here, like you just lose the game.
I can't tell if I'm lagging or if nothing's happening.
I don't think anything has happened. I haven't seen anything since the Heroscape asked about too much defense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna refresh just in case though. Okay, yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah, so Hush. Oh, but nope. Yeah, the chat box is being really weird.
Blocks it though.
Yep, 3 for 5. Okay, so, well, I mean, unnecessary risk didn't get punished for it. Drake is screwed. Yeah, that's my official assessment of Drake in this situation. He did. I think Quaihan stays pivots. It just stays on low ground generally. I would take the even ground attack here with Quaihan and then get Greenies up on height. If Quaihan goes to max height, she has to leave Raylan's aura. I'm fine putting the green scales out of the aura, but not Quaihan. But you have to block height.
Yeah, no,
but you have to block
absolutely.
height.
Yep. You just stay exactly where you are.
I don't like this pivot. I do not like this pivot.
No. We gave up a perfect green scale spot by doing that.
Yeah, and now it's impossible to block off all the heighted spots. From the previous position, we were going to be able to block off all heighted spots next to Quaihan, and we can't do that now. Well, I mean, if we just kill him... Wait, why did we roll 5 dice?
I'm lagging hard. I can't see.
So Hush rolled 4 out of 5 attack, but I believe Quaihan has 6 attack.
Quaihan definitely has 6 attack.
So we get to roll 1 more dice.
They're not using voice chat, so...
Yeah, it's going to be a bit slow if we keep getting these numbers wrong.
They got it. Okay, takes 3.
Jacob, I really think that's not true. I understand you're trolling, but I have a feeling that's false. Jacob saying that he thinks that Hush thinks that Quaihan gets shadow there by being on both shadow tiles, and I'm pretty sure Jacob is trolling us, but you never know. Wait, how did we get... Oh, yeah, okay, fine. So we can't block... But we can't block the final 3 hex, though. So he misses the final roll.
3 LEAs, right? So I think it's okay.
It's just another unnecessary risk. Small one.
4 for 4, pretty good.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, it doesn't matter if we just kill Drake in 2 attacks. Oh.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's wrong. Okay, Gordon. Apparently, I'm just insane. Okay, I don't know what chat that is, but Funky.
No, so that was when Quinn had 1 foot on Shadow, right? We were questioning the 2 feet on Shadow. I don't know. I don't know if he thinks that he gets Shadow if he has 2 feet in Shadow.
Maybe. I guess so. That seems to be a thing that happened somewhere. I don't know where. I'm a bit lost.
That was so earlier. That's why he rolled 6 defenses. He thought he got Shadow for Quayon for having 1 foot in.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, it's not about the number of feet in it, it's about the size, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Quahan never gets Shadow or Jungle or anything.
Right.
So I'm not sure what the.
It's where if they were in voice, it would be easy enough to jump in. But
Yeah.
it's OHS never cooperates with me. I can try logging in.
No, I mean, that feels like a. I don't know. Ugh. Problem is, it's not based on anything that happened in game or whatever. Like somebody's telling me that somebody is assuming something via a chat somewhere else, and I'm not an OHS mod. It feels pretty damn weird to interrupt the game with that.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, Drake is dead. Drake did nothing. Sir H is in trouble. I do not like putting Quahan further aggressive here without being able to get a shot.
Right. You're
Yeah, back up.
potentially giving.
Don't like nothing should be within range of fourth mass shooting at the end of this order marker.
Correct.
There's no reason for that. You also shouldn't take Dagmar. You want to lose initiative in round 2. But I mean,
The only thing I might do is front foot 1 space forward, so that way you're within 5 of the grass 2, assuming you want to go aggressive placement with Raylan.
yeah, I agree with that. I want to do order marker 1 Raylan. I would do that and then develop 3 more greenies out of the back, actually, and then order marker 1 Raylan, and then order marker 2/3 Quahan blasts.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I'd be doing.
Cool. And if you lose initiative next round, Quahan is just like.
Correct. And I believe he's going to be going for initiative. Like, I bet he's going to go for Dagmar here, and I bet he's going to nuke the start zone. And that can potentially work out quite poorly.
Oh yeah, no, that's very incorrect. Like both of those decisions would be like clearly wrong to me.
I'm just saying that I think
I understand.
I have a feeling that's what we're looking at. That's all I'm saying here.
I understand. We'll see.
That's a lot of this game, right? Is you're trying to read like, okay, they're doing that. Like, why are we doing this, right? And
it's true.
Because yeah, that's not what I would do personally, but I'm not sure why else Quahan would be up there right now. I really hope he doesn't think that Quahan gets Bush.
That would be quite unfortunate as well.
Oh, Nathan's saying just to have somebody in chat. I mean, Nathan, if you want to do that.
Yeah, like, I feel weird. I feel weird. I don't know, sir. I don't know for sure that any of these things are things I should preemptively be pointing out. If there's a dice roll that's wrong, I will certainly hop in and point that out. But beyond that, I'm not sure like what if anything I should be preemptively saying here. I'm gonna personally hedge on the side of not saying because I don't know for sure that I should. If that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what the spectator policy says, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't think OHS follows the docs, but OHS should follow the docs. Shameless plug for David's documents.
I just got to that part of the last pod. I almost said Caster's Valhalla, which is not anymore. Jandar's Dispatch. Hey, who just hopped in? Hello.
Gordon.
It is Gordon. How did Gordon? How did you hop in the moment I mentioned your podcast? How did you possibly pull that off?
That's hilarious. Listen, Harsh is a local of mine, and so if you could just be overly critical of anything he does so I can tease him about him later, that's all I ask.
Oh, yeah, we've been doing that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Have fun.
You got it.
Bye.
You got it, Gordon.
Hi, Mike.
Hush also did give preemptive permission to Riot So that may or may not happen depending on where Quaihan goes. Just gotta warn the
Interesting.
chat.
Yeah, this did go for the Ord Marker 1 on Raylan, so there really truly was no upside to the Quaihan push.
And the Dagmar play as well. Yeah. Yeah, like... Nathan, really? You don't think Quaihan fits there? I would have guessed that she does.
Interesting.
Um,
I don't...
If it's the new bush, I agree that she doesn't. But with the old jungle, usually I think her tail can physically push the little bushes out, like further out of the way to get there. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not actually I don't have my scape stuff on me. I can't verify it, but I would have guessed that she does fit there. So fourth are coming up now. I think Raylan was placed too conservatively still. Like, Quaihan was blocking the spot where Raylan should have gone to. Is part of the problem here.
Right, I agree.
Quaihan should have been where Raylan was, like you said, and then Raylan should have gone where Quaihan is, and then Quaihan could have pushed after that. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, Nathan's saying he tried it IRL and that Quaihan does not fit there. Interesting. Surprises me. I mean, I believe you, but it wouldn't shock me if the people in game also assumed that she does, because I certainly would have, without testing it out. Well, it's already been done and some stuff's happened, so I'm certainly not going to point it out. If you want to, again, if you want to point it out to them, by all means, go for it. That's you'd be the right person for it. But it is good to know that. I will certainly watch for if there's anything that's like, yeah. If I notice anything else that's illegal, certainly if Quaihan will probably jump in. But I would be very hesitant to say that one 3 order markers after it's happened.
Right, I'm in the same boat. So here with fourth, I mean, I think you're just trying to spread so that you deny lightning breaths back into the start zone, right?
Yeah, and deny the lightning breaths into each other. You want to force Quaihan to come into wait then fire range in order to get a good lightning breath off. That's like should be the only real goal.
Right. The problem is that because we spent the whole first round on Drake, it's kind of hard to spread at this point really well.
Yeah. No matter what you do, Quaihan is going to be able to go to that 3/3 grass hex. I mean, I guess you could move all of the fourth that are within range of it, which it might be what he's doing. So if we move the last one, where to? I wonder where to. At this point, though, you have to move that last fourth. That because currently Quaihan could go to the grass and then chain it off the engaged guy into the one guy that's left in the start zone. So he absolutely has to move with the fourth activation.
Yep. In fact, she doesn't even have to go to the grass. She could just say, "I'm not going to walk into the wait the fire range of all the people in the start zone." Right? Just chain. Use that guy as a lightning rod.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's even worse with that iteration.
It's even worse. Exactly. It's even worse.
All right, he is going to move in though. Now I would hit that guy, that one that just moved up, and then chain it into the start zone. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you even get a heightened attack with a green scale. A Quaihan boosted green scale.
Correct.
All right, we backed it up. Good. Nathan in chat. Yeah, that one I do know. So Quaihan broadly, for anyone who's watching, Quaihan broadly is not able to fit with a full hex height difference on her tail, but she is able to fit with a half hex height difference on her tail, which is what happens if there's a shadow or a water or something like that on the hex that's pushing her up. But I did not know that the jungle in that specific position. That one I learned today.
I also wonder if you could, Nathan, if you could rotate the bush, because I know different parts of the bush function differently. There might be certain parts of the bush that like allow it and other parts don't, depending on the actual specific rotation of the bush. where did the last fourth move? What am I?
I think he
missing?
just
Did it
backed
move
up in the start zone. He went to the back row of the
Okay.
start zone, and with no
I
attack.
don't hate.
I don't hate it either. I haven't found a better spot yet. That doesn't mean one doesn't exist, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Sir H was also looking for a better spot and couldn't find one either.
I think the only argument is, are you willing to give her 2 of the front ones, right?
Correct.
Or
Yeah,
you
for
want to
one
just
more
say,
shot.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you a chain of 2 of the front guys. You definitely don't want to give 3, but 2 is, 2 is potentially acceptable.
I think I like this version better with you getting the initiative switch. I like being more conservative and then coming in, like trying to make this whole round as close to a no-op for Quaihan as you can.
I agree with that. Yep.
Now the question is, Quaihan, do you come in and start hitting the start zone? The problem is I don't know where you can get to do it. Because of her tail, you can't really... well, you could come into the shadow. No. No, you're outside Raylan. You have to leave Raylan's aura to hit the start zone from here.
Yep.
Yeah, you just can't do it. Quaihan's going to have to just attack a single thing with Lightning Breath, unfortunately. This is going to be a bad Quaihan turn.
You can get height on the guy on
You could, but I think I'd rather let a green scale get him from height and go for somebody else. Oh, we did the other version of that.
Oh, am I lagging?
A little, maybe. I can hear you at the moment. I don't know.
No, I just mean on like the OHS chat, so I didn't see.
So Hush
happening.
Hush stayed where he was with Quaihan and killed the near fourth mass.
Okay.
I don't like that. I would have scooted up. If we're going to take the Lightning Breath, I would have scooted up and hit one of the others so that you can still attack that one.
Right. Yeah, I think if you're attacking that one, I'm using the 7 dice because you're still
Yeah.
out of weight and fire range.
Yep. Yeah. If you're going to go for it. If you're going to go for it, do the normal. There. I do like bringing up green scales here for the most part.
Yep.
I don't know if I like sending that one in for that attack or not. See, I don't, because I'd rather... Now Quaihan can't go to that spot next turn. Like, you're now blocking a potential spot where you might want to put Quaihan, which is going to let fourth mass have a little bit more freedom with their development, I think.
Well,
you probably didn't want to put Quaihan there anyways because of the init switch. Right. I don't know.
The question could be whether that whether Sir H weight and fires though is he baited into firing that green skill then? And I think you're totally happy if he does.
What would you do as fourth here? I'm very unsure.
I think I'm moving. Because I can get that topmost guy up onto the rock.
Yeah.
That seems pretty good to me.
You could, if you move, you could pivot that guy that's next to the greenie around to the far side of it, on the level 2 dungeon.
Yep.
And then bring another guy up onto the level 2 dungeon on the plateau that's not chainable from either of them. And then you could also advance one of them a little bit closer towards Dagmar and get another shot on the Dagmar guy. And then none of them should be chainable if you do that. Let me go ahead and actually throw the spots I'm thinking of on screen here for people who are watching.
If you do take the level 4, though, you will be chained to the level 3. So that
well, I wouldn't take the level. I wouldn't take the level 3.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. Maybe it's not possible. So those 3 spots are possible. Yeah. Okay. Those are the 4 spots I'm thinking of. Those 4 spots. It's hard to describe this to Mike. I don't know how to.
No, I'm watching it
okay.
With a delay on your stream, so cool. I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about.
That was my thought process. Quaihan has to come in pretty aggressively to hit either of the back 2, if she wants to get the chain off, and then you get the possible initiative switch, wait then double wait then fire into her, which I'm fine with. Like if I'm forced, I'm willing to give up one of the lightning breath, one good lightning breath to get that double shot at Kuei Han. But yeah, those are the 4 spots that that I would probably go to.
Yeah, no, I think overall that probably makes sense. You're potentially opening yourself up to Kuei Han moving to the bottom of the map, though, staying within Raylan's Aura, going onto the shadow next to the bush, and then diagonally down right onto the dungeon level 2, chaining into the bottom part of the start zone, and then only 3/4 mass could wait then fire her.
I wouldn't wait then fire. I'd go to height. I'd send all them off to height, and then if you get the initiative switch, you wait then fire from height. That's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
You really don't have a different play, I don't think, to attack the start zone. The northern play to me is even. I guess maybe it's not worse. Maybe the northern play.
I'm not giving up wait then fire height off the switch, no matter what I do.
Right. Yeah.
That's the easiest way to lose the game.
Yeah.
I mean, if fourth move up onto height, fourth moving to height is the same is like better than fourth wait then firing from low ground.
Right. I'm just thinking you might be able to clog the center enough that with those 3 green scales that are in the shadow right now, if they just go 6 forward. I don't know. You would have to count it all out, but you might be able to make it so that they can't wait then fire down. 1, 2,
That's
3,
true.
4,
You
5,
can block
6,
off most of it. You can't block off. Actually, yeah, you can block off all but one spot. You could. Yeah. You could block off a ton.
You're leaving Aura with all those green scales, but that's like. So I personally don't think it's worth it, but I think that's sort of the angle I'd be looking at if I'm trying to.
If you did it, I agree. If you did it, you have to sacrifice 2 greenies to do that, to protect her in that direction. I don't think I do it. I think I just leave everybody on height. I just like. But again, this is why I think taking that glyph, taking Dagmar at the end of round 1 was a pretty big mistake. Actually, I'm curious, would it have impacted it? Would he have won it anyways? Not that it impacts the decision, but it's fun to look back and see.
He would not.
He would not have.
Nope.
19 to 14. Yeah. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, okay. It hurts more. It hurts. It shouldn't, but somehow it hurts more when it would have actually changed the outcome. I don't like this decision. I don't think. I think I would have gone up to a level 3. I'm just worried again about getting shot at from height, and I think I want Kuei Han on more height to go into it. I mean,
up on the dungeon on the north side.
Yeah. Sorry, the dungeon on the north side, and shoot that one instead.
I think I'm on the same train of thought here.
Because then, like, they can't get height, and you're gonna have height. More importantly, you're gonna have height for any that move up to level 2 and then get a wait then fire off on the following order marker. Nathan I think I go big chomp 7v3 and then another rail on order marker 1. That's interesting. Double Raylan move.
I don't think it works because you won initiative.
Yeah, but again, like if we had Raylan one more spot further, we don't have to do that. We can chain the start zone without it.
Agreed.
Sir H a little tilted in the chat after whiffing on defense there.
Yep.
To be fair, I think Drake tilted himself more so, but still.
I mean, he got tilted not dealing like any wounds on the Drake versus Kuei Han. But the thing is, like 6v5, like on average, you're dealing like 1.
Yeah.
1, like it's not great.
It's not.
And you're giving up all those attacks back. I mean, that's I don't know.
It's not a good trade.
Would have just let him
game. The in-game of the Samu versus Drake is actually a pretty freaking scary one, though, for Drake. Like, that's not... It's so... Drake versus Mara Warriors and Samu. It's hard to construct a worst possible, like, end game where you're up on points by that much.
Yeah. And again, realistically, you're probably looking at more getting some value out of him at some other point in the game, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna put him. It's more passive value than anything. You're just leaving him at the front start zone and saying, "Hey, I got the 6-die attack at some point."
And you have the X on him every single round, and it might not be the X at some point in time.
And you can yank Raylan from that shadow spot.
Yeah, into wait then fire, into a spot where she could get wait then fired on. Like you yank her, you put the big attack, and then you wait then fire her on the following turn to finish her off.
Correct. And it's all from one move from the start zone. So like that threat of the grab could be quite valuable.
Yeah. Especially if there's another green scale that you can attack if the grab fails. Like if a green scale moves into a spot, like say it's the end of a round and a green scale is next to right where they are right now, where you can move up, move next to one of them and yank Raylan, and then at least you get the attack still in if you miss the yank. Yeah, right guy in the chat mostly agreeing with what we're saying.
Yep. Like just losing all those turns with the fourth mass when they could have just been shooting is just pretty rough.
Well, Hush that.
I also always just. What? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Hush in the game thread chat disagreeing with his own Quaihan move. So
sure.
I mean, I agree with you, Hush. We'll see if it hurt punishes you or not. There's some serious wait then fire potential here. I mean, they could put a lot of wounds on Quaihan. I know they got to shoot the greenie, so that one's gonna have height for the potential switch. I think I move another fourth to be able to have. Can you get another fourth to have height on the greenie here? I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can get a third shot on the green scale from level 2 this turn, unfortunately.
But like, surely you go onto the other spot of the level 4 up there, right? As opposed to that one, because then you're not giving up a chain of all three.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You can still. I'm sure you can still see Quaihan from that spot. Quaihan big.
Yes.
Quaihan wings stick out. Big wings.
And you've got the gap through the. Yeah. Like, it's the gap side of the outcrop.
True. Yeah.
Be fine.
Where do I put the last one here? I mean, anywhere you put it's going to be able to get lightninged, but I think you have to take that risk. You just, you got to kill the guy in Dagmar and then you got to get the switch. It's not impossible. Yeah, I think you're down enough. You got to try it.
Yes, correct. Which is crazy because you've only lost 2/4 in Drake.
Yeah, but like,
it's more positionally.
Yeah,
is that you by leading Drake, you seeded.
You just floated Drake. You just gave up Drake. Yeah. Correct. You're now playing 130 something points light. Yep. And you have no threat to Raylan at all for the rest of the game. Okay, Nathan. Yeah, that makes more sense. So yeah, Nathan thought we had it with the previous comment in the YouTube chat. Nathan thought we had initiative switch potential, which makes his comments which makes that make a lot more sense. Yeah. Correct. Okay. Yeah, we're on the same page then. Yeah, we won initiative because we took Dagmar in round 1 as Hush. So yeah. However, 5 for 6 shields is a good way to do it. I don't really like targeting Raylan here.
I don't like targeting Raylan at all.
You're not going to kill her.
Correct.
You got a much better shot taking out greenies. So if we win initiative as... Quaihan here, I'm going to... I feel like I'm going to that level green to the grass height. Maybe not. Maybe I don't want to be in wait then fire range. I think we back up. I think we got to back up. Or stay where we are.
Exactly one space. Because then you get out of wait the fire range of that 1/4 that's on level 3 up there. So then all you have to do is light up. Well, I guess that's the one you're chaining to. So, but if you miss a chain on him, right, you're outside of wait the fire range of him. I think that's probably the spot I'm going to.
Actually, I would chain to the guy on 4 height, not him.
Well, you have to start with the guy on 4. Oh, I see what you're saying. So if you say where you are, you can do that, right?
I want to change the guy on 4 height because what I don't want to have happen is a different 4th kills the greenie who goes up to 4 height. And and then gets the opening, which it could because the green you're gonna have to send a greenie to the 4 height to engage in there, and it's gonna be outside of Raylan's aura, and then they're looking at just 2v4s to open up the combo.
Right. So I think what you do is then you take the guy, the northernmost guy next to the tree into the guy not next to the tree into the 4 height guy, and then you've got potentially 2 green scales tying up the guy next to the tree. Right. One on height, one boosted from Kuei Han, and then you're big chilling at that point, I think.
Yeah. You're more okay with the you're more okay with the 2 next to the tree surviving because it's so much easier to tie them down.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other 2 I'm worried about. I don't like this. I mean, like, yeah, you're losing win rate by doing this. You can get Waithen fired from the start zone now.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't do that chain. I don't like leaving that guy on 4 height open. If I'm gonna do this move, the one I'm not gonna hit is the bottom one. I'm gonna leave him alone and bring a green scale next to him to take that 3v3 instead.
Yeah, this is the safest spot.
And we roll bad. Oh, geez, 3 is gonna be pretty tilted after that one. If the second one dies here. Okay, alright, it's like, could have been worse.
Only one. It's still a very good outcome, actually, for Sir H.
Yeah.
Like, ideal.
Well, the others are going to get now I'm multi-engaging those ones. So I'm sending a green scale to the shadow that engages both and sending a green scale to the 4 hex rock.
What?
Yeah, I like that. I think that's necessary. That one should... Yeah, I like that too. And then I would send another one up to that rock. I'm really worried about the Waithen fire from height if we get picked off.
Yep.
Like the greenie's sacrificing itself, but you just got to. I think next turn you're going to have to take Kuei Han out of the aura. Or completely retreat and wait around and then move up Raylan again in the future. But 4th are going to wait then fire where they're at next turn. And you're not going to be able to attack them back unless you leave the aura.
Yeah, there just wasn't a ton of upside for Quan to go there.
Right, yeah. No, it's... I mean, like, there's some immediate benefits, but you're just taking on risk that you shouldn't be taking. Like, a big like when you're in like a 90-something% win rate, I don't know if this is quite that high, but like, if you take risks, you're just presenting opportunities to drop that win rate down significantly if like one dumb thing goes wrong for you.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know about 95%, but it's probably quite high.
But like, it is possible for Kuei Han to die to a single Waithen fire turn. And like, you're opening yourself up to that. I mean, it's not a high possibility, but it can happen. So what did we get? 2 of the 4th. Yeah, I mean, we got the important one, though. The one on rock is the only one that was, like, scary. I think you just have to hit Kuei Han 4 times here with Waithen fire. I don't think you can afford to do anything else. Are you moving 4th here ever, or are you just Waithen firing up into the dragon?
I'm just waiting to fire. Because you're still saying like Quan wants to leave anything else you do is give Quan better options while staying in Raylan's aura.
I agree. Like if Kuei Han leaves the aura and then rolls 1 for 4 again, you now have a chance to win the game.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm with that. And if Kuei Han retreats, then you have a chance to come up on order marker 3 and get the initiative switch and hit her again. Like both outcomes are a lot better than anything else that you could pull off here.
Right. mean, this should just be Vortex into Quayon.
Yes. You just like roll them up. Oh, lol. That's unfortunate. Yeah, there we go. That could be it. That's a start. That is a start to getting back in this thing. I kind of think I do retreat Kuei Hun now and put another order marker on Raylan. Order marker 1 of next round to get her back up there. I do not want Kuei Hun outside the aura right now. I think if you send Kuei Hun outside the aura, she dies. She's like almost at least close to 50-50 to die this round with 2 more turns.
Yep. At this point, I'm saying, okay, 2 wounds not nearly the worst that could have been.
Correct. Yeah. I would back up the 2 green scales that are forward and not in Raylan's aura, and then leave the last one to move to height and take the 1 attack because he's stuck anyways. Well, actually, no. Kuei Hun should back up and hit that 1/4, and then if you kill him, you retreat all 3 greenies, and if you don't kill him, you retreat the other 2 and leave that 1 to take the attack.
Yep. Oh boy, this is like.
Oh no. For 1 guy? No. All right. That one's gonna be it. I've been waiting.
I guess you just try to flood the spirit zone then, like send a couple green skills, send a tie up, and hope you don't die. But the problem is you can't even tie up like the backmost 4th mass, right? Like you're still getting shot by Waithen Fires. You can reduce it down to. I think you can reduce it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you can reduce it down to 3 Waithen Fires into Kuei Hun with proper ties. No, I think it's 4 still. I don't think you have the green skills up there. Oh, wow. Oh, this is not ideal.
Oh man, we just gave Sir H a shitload of win rate back in this game. It's like this is painful. If 4th, and they have 2 more. I don't think Hush is going to retreat Kuei. If you didn't retreat Kuei Han this turn, why would you retreat him next? Why would you retreat her next turn?
I don't know.
I am not a fan of where we're at here. I mean, like I think even with this, Hush is still favored, but a lot less so. So if you're Sir H here, you've just got to be thrilled that you were given a chance to get back into this thing.
Correct.
Like that's the only thought here is, wow, I just got a shot, and you just roll for it and hope. That 1/4 doesn't actually matter that much. I mean, I'm sure you'd rather he lived, but like the fact that he baited Kuei Han into staying where she was already him doing his job.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's no argument for anything other than just wait then fire into Kuei Han again. If you do like 3 or 4 wounds, if you do like 2 to 3 wounds here. I also kind of hate the fact that we took a green scale off of Dagmar there. That feels very unnecessary because now we have to waste a turn putting 1 back on there next turn. Yeah, I don't love that.
Unless you're just saying, I'm okay if I get initiative switched, I'm going to hope to initiative switch them back the next round or something. But the problem is...
Kuei Han won't still be alive. Yeah, the game will be over by then. Yeah. Either Kuei Han's dead or all the 4th are gone by then. The game does not last to that game state.
The thing is, if you wanted to try to like trade Kuei Han really aggressively at this point for like, 6 more 4th mass basically and try to trade the green skill part of the army to just like engineer a good Mara Warrior endgame, it's high risk and not, I don't think, worth it.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary. You can just retreat, but like you should just retreat and move Raylan forward and then do that. Same thing. Yeah.
Half of like being more aggressively positioned, but also not getting the upside of that is really
correct.
problematic.
Yeah, if you're gonna go aggro, you got to put Kuei Han in a spot where she's hitting 3 things every single turn. and
can
then
still
having
tie
greenies
down.
engage and greenies engaging, because like you just got to be taking all those attacks. You just got to be throwing
Correct.
dice into everything.
And the way you do that is picking one part of the start zone, targeting that, and then you're out of, like, because it's split so much, you can just nullify one
Yeah.
of the three sections pretty easily.
I think I would have if I was gonna do that, I would have had Quaihan go for the southmost one, because the north and the middle are both tie-upable by a single green skill.
Yep, exactly
And the south ones are the ones that can better contest Dagmar as well.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, if again, wouldn't, but like if we were gonna do it, that would be the way to do it. I would just move Quaihan down to the level 2 rock.
Level 2 dungeon, yeah.
Sorry, dungeon. Yeah, dungeon. Level 2 dungeon, where we still have height off the Wait Then Fires, and then do it. Sir H rolling pretty bad here. Looking unlikely to do any wounds this turn.
It'll be interesting to see what Hush That Fuss does with his Order Marker 3 then. Does he go in, you know?
I would retreat Quaihan and go in with 3 greenies.
I would too, but that wasn't the question.
Yeah. Well, actually, maybe just go in with 2 and put one on Dagmar. There is an argument for just going in with 2 and putting one on Dagmar. Can we get an F that count? Sure, why not? I'll scroll back up and look for it.
Yeah, I don't think you have to go in with 3. Realistically, like, just 1 into 2 parts of the start zone and you're still fine.
Yeah. If you retreat far enough, the ones from the north start zone can't even get to Quaihan in that one move. So you really just have to send 1 into the middle and 1 into the south. I think you send 1 into the middle and 1 into the south, and then 1 for Dagmar. Because then you also protect the Dagmar guy by doing that.
Quaihan basically going over Dagmar in my ideal world. Is like Quaihan's like down there, right? We're into level 3 grass, that works too.
We do back up. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I got no problem with that. Good. Are we doing it?
And even if you don't go for Dagmar, because like,
yeah, you may not go for Dagmar.
Yeah,
and you're okay. Yeah, there's a lot of merit to that too, and then hope to lose initiative.
Exactly.
Because if they're stuck, like the best thing they can do then is move up on the next Order Marker 1. Yeah, I like that better. At this point. I'm with it. Hope to lose initiative. You say let them move up and take a bunch of attacks at 2, and then we smash them. Don't love that. I like the aggressive one better. Although this is a pretty picture. Like all those greenies on Raylan Shadow. It's pretty. I'll give it that.
It is pretty. I don't love it. You're just giving them space. You can seriously make it so that they literally cannot move out of the start zone from any one of those start zones, right? Without taking LEAs. Oof, forgot Dagmar.
But you like, moved off it on your Order Marker 2, Hush. Yeah. Also at this point, it's good. At this point, it's good. Now, if you're Sir H, do you push up? I think you push up and hope to get the Wait Then Fire into Quaihan if you get the switch. Because you can get it. Only with 2 dudes. No, maybe 3. You can get a third one up from the north. No, you can get 2 from the north. You can get them all in there.
Yep.
I think you got to. I don't know what other option you've got. Like sitting back and hoping you lose initiative again. Seems bad. You lose this game the longer it goes.
Yeah, remember you guys still deal with the Mara Warriors at the end. Like we're down to 13/4. That's why also like just taking 3 attacks of 2v3 with green scales, like you're getting probably 2.
Yep.
You're getting them down now to 11. Like you're doing everything you want at that point, right? All you have to do is trade down. You just keep not trade down in value, but just like trade down the amount of figures that both of us have.
Yeah, 1-for-1.
And then
1-for-1 wins the game.
You're good.
Mm-hmm. There's also a lot of merit to forcing them to stay in the start zone, because one of the ways that you lose with Maros is they move up and kill everything, and then you lose order markers. They step forward and they start killing Maros. Like that is the lost condition.
Where I completely bungled the very last, the second to last round of order markers. I bungled and let you do that. Yeah, that was not fun. So I one misplaced order marker spot, and my final chance of winning that game just out the.
Was that the where you had Nikita's with Exiles?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that game.
Like I went for initiative switch plays and they all failed, but then like especially the last one I went for just didn't make sense. It was when I had like the 3 frost claws up with Finn or something, and or with Finn or something, and I did like order marker 1, order marker 2 on them as opposed to 1x, and that should have been 1x 100% of the time, because I only had like I think 2 frost claws Finn there. It's like I absolutely should have had 2-3 on Maros there.
Well, Sir H just almost killed Raylan.
What do you think about shooting Raylan?
If you node lock it to doing 4 wounds, it's pretty good. I would have gone for Quaihan probably, but I mean,
yeah.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter now. Unless you're rolling a casual 20, it's not gonna matter.
Sure, it's just probably too busy typing to. Yep. Too busy typing to flip it.
So there's no way to get Quaihan to attack the start zones. Where do I put Quaihan here?
You're just breathing the ones that are up there. No, don't go back up there. Not again.
Yeah, don't go that far forward. You want to put green scales there. You want to have Quaihan lightning breath and then have green scales go to wherever spots are open.
Correct.
Like Quaihan, I think should have gone to the level 2 down by Dagmar.
Actually, I don't know that she fits there, but like you put her like on the dungeon right behind where she is, and then she's also buffing those green skills, and she's out of weight and fire range from the start zone. Like,
well, so if I'm just assuming based on Nathan's comment from earlier, she wouldn't fit there. If she does fit there, I agree.
Well, I think if you, I got you.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. We're done. We got to concede.
Okay.
All right.
4th left. Interesting.
I think
he's low odds that he wins, right?
Yeah.
Very low odds that
Nathan, I think he's allowed to. I'm pretty sure it's a legal option to resign. Well, that is it then. Look, I've the last 2 times I had an opponent attempt to resign and I didn't let them, I lost the game. So I'm never forcing him to not resign again.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I got hit by two of the most painful ones after that. That was. Do you know Command Courier? The VC figure.
Little Vidar guy.
Yeah. Hit like 12 disappears on me in a row, trying to chase his little butt down with an entire army of Granite Guardians.
Oh, is that like
He has like a 50. He has like an Isamu 50% to ignore wounds basically. And he just hit like 12 in a row.
That's crazy.
It was like something like 7 or 8 granites with Warden versus Command Courier.
Damn, that's yikes.
No, I didn't have Warden. I did not have Warden. I didn't. Sorry, I didn't have Warden, but I did have like 8 or I had a lot of granites. Yeah, it was a rough one for me. I'm gonna remember that one for a while. But GG's to Hush. I think there was a lot of placement stuff. If you're watching this back, I think there's a lot of placement stuff I would do differently. But the Drake opening gave you a lot of leeway to not have to worry about it getting punished for it as much. Honestly, I think the biggest thing might have been not putting Quaihan where Drake could hit her on order marker 2 of the game. Like if Drake just rolls 6 for 6 there, you lose.
Yeah, I agree. If you're playing the odds, it works because Drake doesn't really do much on average, whereas you just kind of kill him. But you're right. You are opening yourself up. It's what I've talked a lot about on casters, right? Is like you want to be careful about opening yourself up to those variance plays.
If you didn't have amazing end games into Drake, then I think it's a lot more merit. Because like if your end game into Drake is bad, then you don't want him to back up and set up for that late game end game. But your end games into him are so good that if he just backs up instead, you're like, cool, I got board control for free.
Yep.
And then it just becomes not worth it there. But anyhow, again, congrats to Hush. Let me look at the bracket and see where Hush goes on. So Hush is going to play the winner of Cleon versus Sir Artorias. Cleon's got Knights with Savaris. And Sir Artorias has, I do not remember, Sir Artorias has Greenscales Nilfheim with Brute Gruts instead of Maros.
Interesting. That's much more melee targeted.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, I mean, that version of it is going to be better into Cleon's build, specifically in that matchup, because Knights. In terms of this future matchup versus Hush, if he gets there, it's going to suffer a lot, because now you're looking at Brutes versus Mara Warriors endgame, and that's not good for the Brutes.
Yep.
But again, like we were talking about earlier in the stream, like you got to pick which things you want to try to counter in VCheese. Like when you're making those last few picks with your army, you got to say like, I want to counter this or I want to counter that, and then hope that the bracket plays out for you in a way that counter is the right one to have. So I feel like if you're gonna go with the Brutes, this is probably one of the better map pools and metas to have done it into. Like there's a lot of good melee armies out there. You've got a lot of chasers, you've got a few heavies, you've got a few knights that are doing well, and like most of those armies have had success in round 1 as well. So like, and it's probably going to help out in the Cleon matchup for sure, like into knights there as well. So like, I don't hate it, not necessarily as like a meta call. Like you hope that in the Dragon v Dragon, your Dragon wins the Dragon lead. If they do, then your Dragon takes out the Maros, and it doesn't matter. It's a reasonable risk, I think, if you're trying to get through the cheese gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad bet. You know, you're making the army a little less stable, I think, overall. But the upside of Brutes into all those matchups, I think, is probably worth it, especially because traditionally, like, at least from my perspective, I'm more than happy to play melee into any of the dragons, right? Like, that's just...
Yeah, it's good.
Especially like the Nilfheim. Quehan is a tougher nut to crack just because you don't have all the counterplays you normally would have, and Quehan kind of punishes you for playing the game like you want to play, which is like slow rolling, amassing, etc. Whereas Nilfheim, I don't know, maybe it's also my comfort level of having played into Nilfheim enough versus not having played into Quehan.
No, I completely agree. But well, it's into knights and heavies at least. Maybe less so against Death Chasers, but like, into knights and heavies, like single engaging Nilfheim with a knight is just like awesome, and then Grimnack chomping Greenie and then plugging that spot with the now 5 defense heavy is also pretty awesome. So both of those just like have the right tools to counterplay into Nilf, whereas like Quehan doesn't. Like Quehan can miss the first one and then still hit Grimnack and Narek off the chain.
And that's why I don't mind the Brutes with Nilfheim specifically. Is like Brutes with Nilfheim is I think stabilized a little bit better into melee armies, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's an interesting argument for like if you're going to do Quehan, go with the Maros, and then if you're going to do Nilf, go with the Brutes.
Or at least consider the Brutes.
Yeah.
It's still definitely not wrong to go Maros there.
Brute Gruts are so good for their points. Man, Brute Gruts are good. That is.
Weren't they like B+ or something? That's crazy.
Sometimes you don't realize what the full potential of something is. Yeah, Brute Gruts are they're up there. I know Earthling likes to call his Rygarn builds Brute Grut builds, not Rygarn builds. So they're good.
Gotcha.
They're good.
Hush, you didn't play poorly, really. Like, there are definitely some stuff, though, like, if you watch it back, you can definitely, I think, learn from some stuff about when to go for play if you're going to be aggressive, actually be aggressive, and if not, hang back more. You'll see it all throughout the game. But
Yeah.
well, I thought all the games tonight were pretty reasonable. There weren't. I didn't think like it felt like every game from both sides, like they could use some optimization, but they weren't like really poorly played games. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Indeed. I am glad that we did not have to go to the Mara Warriors versus Drake endgame. Selfishly, I was not looking forward to watching that.
You don't want to be up with me till like 3 a.m.
Oh God. That's not the fun in game. Hush, wishy-washy. Yeah, Hush. I mean, the thing there though is like you're just usually better off to just commit to one. Like the wishy-washy tends to absorb most of the risk with little of the upside, and that ends up just being a bad sort of combo to cut with. I think the biggest one of that from this game was the turn where Quahan stayed forward to special attack just a single fourth, instead of staying forward, instead of like moving up a little bit more and then special attacking 3 of them. Yeah, not having an order marker on Raylan in round 1 helped you in that sense. I mean, you were better prepared to counter the Drake Open as a result of that. I still don't hate having the order marker and then just no-opping it if you face that. But I mean, like if you're like almost certain it's going to be Drake, then yeah, what you did is better because you get better green skill development.
Yep. Yeah. Just overall, I would always have Ford Marker 1 on Raylan there. It just plays better into the different openings overall. Like,
yeah.
Not having a Raylan order marker is so punishing if he doesn't lead Drake.
Right. Agreed with that. Like, I think that you're favored enough overall here that you generally should be taking the slightly lower variance plays and not going for the risks in the matchups, because when that would be my thought there.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But anyhow, should probably wrap up the stream. I know we've been going for a while. Yeah. If any of you have been hanging out with us this whole time, appreciate it. Hope it was an enjoyable, fun experience. We don't get to do like 5 games all happening at once like that too often, so it was cool to be able to hop on the stream. And Mike, thanks for joining and hanging and commentating tonight.
Yeah, always fun, Chris. Always fun. I think we had like 15 to 20 people, so that's pretty good.
Nice. Pretty good.
I hope the players can watch back and see some spots. I know, especially when we had like 4 games going at once, we definitely weren't able to cover each game thoroughly.
Yeah, apologies for things that we missed during that. That was an interesting thing to attempt. It was kind of fun trying to follow all of them, hopping back and forth. But yeah, I'm 1,000% certain we missed things in there. So.
No, I actually thought it went quite well. The jumping back and forth, and in fact, like every single time you said like let's jump over to this one, I had already like just clicked over there. Like we were just nice. In sync the whole time. Like where it's just like, yep, I'm already pulling up that one because we're at a stopping place in this one, right? So I actually didn't think it was that bad.
Cool, sweet.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, Chris.
Yep, you as well. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.
Alright, gonna shut down the stream here in a second though. But again, if you followed us here, if it was helpful, hope it was good. If you're still here, thank you as always, and I will catch y'all.